Please, what's your name? Abel. Yeah, I remember your face from GCU. Yeah, so I'm going to use Abel. So once upon a time, Abel came here one evening for lunch out, and after, Lady Prissy, please continue.
Okay, and after he went and then made use of everything that he learned, and
And then,
He was able to find his career path.
can you hear him?
He was able to find his career path.
Beautiful. And then, there's, okay, okay, okay. Please, can we get a second microphone? Okay, so we got to, and he found, so she said, so I said once upon a time, Abel came to launch out, and then she continued that, and he made use of everything that he learned. And then he said, and he found his career path. So who was next? Yes, I was giving it to him. I'm sure you're ready now. Okay, so please continue for us. So you can use your own expectation to even continue the story. I hope you get it. And don't forget that we are speaking into our own lives. What you want to say, you can speak it. So take note of that. Please continue the story.
So he launched into higher heights.
For using the word alone, you have won $5 million. Okay, so someone should continue. Give it to anyone. Why are you passing them?
And at the end, he became what he wants to be.
Okay, so the someone has to continue what he became. Yes.
For me, the rest was history.
We are not, that question is, that answer is not acceptable, please. No, so say something else.
Okay, there has been a very massive transformation after months.
There was
Launch out.
transformation.
Yeah, massive
Okay.
one.
Arava.
He was able to differentiate between the good and the bad decisions.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. And then, please, Abel has to speak because he's the one we are talking about. He's right in front of you.
And he became a successful person to inspire others.
To what? To inspire
Inspire
others.
others.
Wow, that's great. We've not ended. Let's take some more. Let's take some more. No, someone has to speak from you guys. She'll come back. Okay.
And he became fruitful and had dominion over
Yeah,
the
using my
career
own
path he
words.
chose.
That's brilliant. Okay, so let's take a last person. Or if the story is still interesting, we'll continue. Beatrice, continue for us. I'm waiting. The last person said, and he had dominion in his career space. Yes. So, what do you think happened next?
And please, he was able to be a mind-focused entrepreneur.
Wow, he was able to become a very focused entrepreneur. Okay, let's take one last person. Yourself. Yes, last person. Who conclude? The conclusion has to be really nice. It has to be a perfect conclusion of the story. Yes, who will help us with a perfect conclusion? Please, are you ready now? Are you ready now? Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so he became a very diligent Christian professional and ventured into entrepreneurship, which he later on developed a passion for.
Wow. Okay. So let's give it up for ourselves. That was a beautiful story. If you didn't say what you want to see, it's your own case, but that was amazing. So that's what we are looking out for, and I'm happy that you are also having the same expectation. So this is Launch Out, and once again, you're most welcome to this evening's conference. Please pay attention. Make sure you came with your notes and your pens to note things that you are going to learn. Because after here, we don't expect you to be at the same level at all. Thank you very much. Okay, so without much ado, we'll invite Pastor to officially tell you the reason, even though I've already welcomed you to this evening's conference, and then we'll go ahead with a panel discussion. Thank you, sir. Please give a round of applause.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so you again welcome to this very August meeting. This is, I think, one of its kind, and it's a very intentional meeting, as a matter of fact. Right, very very intentional. It has it has um it has a reason for it, and then I believe that it's just the right season and the right time to do this. And that is why on this day, which is a holiday plus also the day for our midweek service, we decided to put this together to address specific, issues when it comes to us as young Christians, as far as our professional interest and then entrepreneurship path are concerned. So if you are here tonight, you know that it's a very special night, very, very intentional. And I expect you to have that same level of intentionality towards it. Be very intentional when it comes to your interest. Okay, so I think we don't have to spend too much time since you've already had the welcome address and everything. So because our time is really fast spent, we are going to go straight to the business of the day. All right, and we have our panelists here. So I'm just going to go ahead and then straight invite them to join us here on stage as we begin everything that we are about to do here tonight. Hallelujah. All right, so please. Projections, are you ready as well? I think you have some images there that you can help us with that. All right. And can everybody settle down, please? Can everyone settle down? And then let's get everyone settled down first before we get on to that, because this is the most important part of the session. So let's get everyone settled. Let me ensure that that's the case. I think we just have 2 minutes to 7 p.m. So let me ensure everyone is settled first. So those at the back, the ushers, the church workers, and everyone, please, whatever you're doing. And please take note that this is live, so your movement, don't walk before the camera, especially the coordinators and the moderators. Please don't walk before the camera. If you're walking before the camera, make sure you bend down. And then when you are passing here, don't even just use the ends, all right? Use the ends and use the ends, please. It's a hybrid session, which means that both online and then physical. So don't forget that there are people watching online. So please, let's make sure we recognize them, that they are also a part of it, all right? So let's fix the sitting arrangement as well. Can we have some people move here so that we don't end up looking towards the left only? So let's have some people, especially for the last line, move to the side for us. Kindly, please, move to the side. So I think I can do it, girl Chris. And are these seats occupied? Are they occupied? They are not. Okay, but I think you can just, please be careful with the camera, don't forget that. So listen, Michael, let's come to the side. Girl Chris, you can join them to the side. So we can do one line at a time. One line at a time. You can use the second line, please. So we can move forward to the second line. Yeah, you can move to the second line. Please move to this side as well. Where Nadia was here. Where is she? Okay. All right. Less than a minute. I'm waiting for everyone to settle down, please. All right. Technical team, are you ready with some of the images? You ready with some of the images or other images? You ready? Okay. All right. So please, you settle down here. All right. And the ushers, please don't forget the camera. And anyone that is walking in, please make sure you direct the person right. Okay. All right, please. Thank you so much. So I think we can officially move to business. Okay. So let me go ahead and straightly invite our panelists to join us here on stage. Okay. So I'm going to invite Pastor Calvin to the stage, I think right away, you know. So please, you can, yes, please. Thank you. And then we have Mrs. Favor up here as well. She will join us on stage. And then, all right. So for Miss Pat, she's supposed to be on her way. So when she gets here, she's also going to join us. So we are going to start with the two of our panelists here right away. Hallelujah. All right. Thank you. Please, you get let's move forward. Before I mention her name in the in the microphone and then in the camera. So please, kindly get her to move. Proceed to the seats there. All right, please, let's do that. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So, can we have the microphones for the panel? The microphones. Don't forget the camera. Repeat. So the microphones, can we have two microphones here and then get a third one ready as well? So keep the third one. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So finally, as I'm seated, I should greet again. That's supposed to be the right thing to do. So once again, please, good evening. And then you are once again welcome to this live audience focus panel discussion, which is basically Christian professionals and entrepreneurs. And then the theme that we are working with tonight is launch out. And basically what we are doing here tonight with our panels, with you as well, is that we really want to get to the point of normalizing some of the things that got people quitting. We want to come to the point of normalizing these things. All right, the word normalize is in context, so they are going to flesh them out to you. So we just want to, find ourselves acquainted with the realities that gets people quitting. Some of the things that got people frustrated. Yes, okay. With some of the things that got people frustrated and then they had to just, call it quits. Basically in the faith or in certain pursuit. And also with some of the things that got people very, very comfortable, and for that matter, they didn't find themselves having to pursue much. And the truth is that most of these things are found in the tenets of the faith. And that's what we are working with. So today we are strictly focused on us, Christians. We are talking about Christians. Christians who are professionals. So professionals here simply means those of you that you are in a profession. So whatever profession you find yourself in, if you're a teacher, you are in a medical, health sector, you are also in industrial sectors, whatever the case is, that is the professionals. And then entrepreneurs are those of us that are doing something on our own, or we are doing something on our own alongside our professional species. So that is the reason for the title, Christian Professionals and Entrepreneurs. So I believe almost all of us under these two categories or two identifications, which is either you are in a profession or you want to pursue a profession, or you want to pursue a profession with an entrepreneurship, or you want to do entrepreneurship. So whichever category you find yourself in, you are the one that we are discussing tonight to really get to settle out all the things that we need to normalize as far as these, pathways are concerned. All right? Okay, so I think with the introduction well done and well said, I'm going to go straight to our panels. So what is going to happen is that basically they're going to answer their own unique story questions, and then from the unique story questions that they answer, we are going to ask them questions. And sincerely, the questions have got to do with how did you do it. That's all we want to know. We just want to know how did you do it, and we want you to tell us the truth and only the truth, people, right? We don't want any I sold 1 grain of rice or I began. We don't want to hear that. Neither do we want to hear, perspire to aspire to increase, and if you don't perspire to aspire, you expire. We don't want to hear that. We are not here for any of those jamborees or whatever. We are sincerely here as brothers, as fellows, they are really poised to talk to us. They want to share, some of the things that they really had to. I mean, go through with us, so we know that what we are also doing well, so that you don't really hate yourself like you think you are not, and then keep this thing running. So that is the tone of our conversation. So you should feel free to come in at any point in time by following the protocols when it comes to asking the questions. And I think my technical lady here to get you, access to the link to bring in your questions. So I'm sure I would have to just throw it like a classroom option. So you just have to, lift up your hands, and then I will get you to ask the specific question, and I will direct it. Is that fine? So that is the approach, okay? So once this is made clear, I think we will go straight to business. And I want to start with Pastor Kelvin. All right? So please, sir, you are finally welcome. Okay. Okay, so you're finally welcome. And
Hallelujah.
yes.
Hallelujah. All right.
So let me start with a question for you, so you don't have to. We can go straight into that.
Right.
So I think when I put a question across, then you. So basically, we want to start off with you introducing yourself. So tell us how you want to introduce yourself to us. What you want us to know. What you want us to relate to tonight. Tonight, we don't want to relate to I'm a pastor of this branch. Is that what you guys want to relate to? No. We want to relate to all your gigs that you are involved in. Let us know all the hands dirty that you are involved in. So please kindly, for the first official time, introduce your all the other arrows to us, and then let's start off with that. Then I would have Mrs. Apia also doing same.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you all for having me. I'd like to use the opportunity to thank my man of God, Reverend Samuel Kwame Sasu, for all the years of training and instructions and guidance. And also, I'd like to thank you for inviting me after having been permitted by my man of God to come.
That's right.
Right, because today's Wednesday, right?
Yes.
So I really shouldn't be here on the Wednesday.
That's
but
right.
then he permitted me to come. And also, to everyone who is putting this meeting together, I want to say thank you for having me. So, that being said, I'm going to try as much as possible. I hope you can all hear me. All right. So I'm going to try as much as possible to get into things, but if you have a question, I'll try to be a little fast around some curves. So if you have a particular question you want to get to, you can ask. And I'll also be watching the cameras I'm asking. So, but if it's very detailed, then maybe I recommend you see me after service, right?
Okay. Right.
So, primarily, all right. So primarily,
what do you do?
What do I do?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm a product manager, right? I'm a product manager with I'm a product manager.
The with is with him.
Yeah. I'm a product
Okay,
manager.
with what?
With yeah, with one entity. Aside that, I'm also lead operations with another entity. When I mean an entity, I mean a company, right? And then I'm also now on the entrepreneurial side, partner with my brother, a friend here. We have a product in the edtech space. Now, when I say product in IT, you know, what you refer to as softwares and mobile apps, they are referred to as products, right?
Okay.
So, being a product manager means that you are managing a team, and that is building that product, right?
Okay.
So that's it, and so that's it over there. On the fly, I like to try things. I think last 2 weeks, kind of started something like, really, like just to, for the flair of it, right?
Okay.
And just tested something on GG, which will be doing, let's say, software installations, PC repairs, and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's just like an idea. We've not even had a customer yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
that's
So
it.
You are going to repeat that for me. I did not hear anything.
You didn't hear anything?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Did you hear anything? Of course. Yeah, it's not like you were not loud though. I don't understand.
You don't understand. All
I
right.
didn't hear anything.
Okay.
He said he's a product manager, lead something. What is that?
What is that?
Yes.
Okay. So for the first part of it, so you see your WhatsApp, the app you use on your phone. Now it has it has different sides, or let's say we call them screens to it, right?
Okay.
Now, Facebook has a lot of employees, right? It's not just 5 people who work at Facebook. Right?
Okay.
So in the WhatsApp division, you have a lot of programmers. Now, it's like having, if you are building an apartment, right? You can't just throw the carpenter in there and the mason in there, like just go.
Right.
It will be a mess, right? So if you actually want to build, you're going to have a contractor, right?
Okay.
So like that's like the lead foreman.
Yeah.
Now his work is to work with the person going to do the architectural drawing.
Okay.
And then from there, you're going to have meetings and decide on it. And then from there, you're going to have like a meeting with the mason and okay, sign. I'm going to bring you 50 bags of cement. I'm going to bring you this number of, let's say, wood and stuff for the building. So with a product manager, typically what happens is just that.
So that's basically what you do as a product manager.
Yeah.
But this time around,
in tech,
in the
right?
tech space.
So in tech, so you're working with a designer.
Okay.
A designer. So before anything is built, you have to come up with mock-up designs. You have to come up with the final drawings. So first you come up with mock-up designs. Then we have a meeting and then we discuss, okay, this is looking all right, okay, fine, okay, so now put color to it. So the mock-up design is like basically like simple architecture. You just see lines and then drawings and marks in there.
Okay.
But then after that is decided, then we add color to it. Then it looks something like appealing, almost like a work by a graphic designer,
Okay.
right? So you can really relate with that.
All right.
So then so that being decided, then now the developers, either mobile or web, now begin to build what has already been designed.
Okay. So
right?
so you are basically you are doing that for the company, for that entity, right?
Right.
So you are the product manager for
Right.
that entity.
Right.
Okay. I'll come back to you. On that side,
All right.
because I mean, is he a tech person? Have you ever known him as who is supposed to be a tech person? So I'm wondering how are you working in the tech space, not being a tech person? Do you code? Do you know any like code in terms of hands-on coding, or you don't do that? We want to appreciate the fact that, all right, in the tech space, there are people in there who are actually also not really, let's say, the programmers like it's popularly out there, but then there are people, let's say, like Pastor Kelvin in there. So how are you in there when, for what I know, he's not supposed to be a programmer? So I think I'll come to that.
Okay.
So you can keep that for me. Maybe in the later development you can look at that. All right. And then the second part, you said you are leads operation something for another entity.
All right. So I'm not going to mention names, right? that's like quite sensitive. All right. So gentleman is really positioning the camera on me now. All right. So when it comes to that, work with a government entity, right?
Okay.
And so there are things that a government entity cannot do. So a private entity ought to
Alright.
do it for them, right? So there's a World Bank project which has to digitalize some parts, a key part of government processes.
Okay.
Right? So our company has that contract to make those happen now. I'm from my company, which I don't mention the name.
That's right.
Is the one handling that project, that World Bank project, right? And I'm the lead for that. So lead for that. What do I do? What I do is
they are digitalizing.
You
are not a programmer,
right?
What are you doing there?
So what do I do there? So the
it's an interesting
system,
thing that you sincerely answer for me later.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about
All right.
it. I think I just wanted them to have an idea of the kind of role it is.
Okay.
So they can just identify with that.
All right.
Then the third part is the entrepreneurship bit of it, which is with like working with I mean, let's say your brothers, not like biological brothers, but then working with other people on some products that you're also trying to put out there. And another time again, it's a product that has got to do with tech, and he's not a programmer, but he is also doing tech entrepreneurship. And I think there are other side. You mentioned the GG part of it as well. So I think we have an idea of what he's doing, right? Do we? Okay. I hope that's supposed to be fine for the intro. Are we all okay? Okay. So finally, please, we come to you. We want to know what are the many things you do. Please help us know. If you do one thing too, we are very humble. We would accept it. So we want to know what are the many things you do, or the one thing you do.
Okay.
Coming up, please. The two microphones, the extra. Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity. So, first of all, I'd like to thank our honorable man of God, Minister High Life, wherever he is. We salute you, sir.
Yeah.
And thank you for the opportunity. And thank you to Pastor Ezra for inviting me and giving me the platform to be here today. And thanks to everyone for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here tonight. So I'm Favor Fiado is my maiden name, but I go by Favor, Mrs. Favor Apia.
Yeah.
So I'm a sales executive, and I double as a marketer in a company.
It's already also in a company for me. Okay.
And then, aside being employed, I also employ I'm an entrepreneur. I've got my own small something that is also running. So, yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. So for you are very, very humble. In that one company, you are two. For him, he is doing two different things like that. And then aside that, then you have one that you have employed others to be doing for you.
Yes.
That is also your small side. They always call it small side. So I think, so that's basically what you also do. All right. I think that's supposed to be a good intro for us as well, right? Okay. So guys, I think we want to get straight into business now. So now we can go in for the details. Are we up for that? All right. Sure. So I think we want to just start off with making you know us as well. As you've introduced yourself, we want you to know us. So the people you see us here, including myself, we are also humble people that some of us are in school. Others are also done with school, and then we are doing very well serving the nation. And they are giving us our allowances for whatever amount it is. And then others are also trying to find something doing when it comes to unemployment after school, working in one company that they are also managing with what they are paying them, and there are also others who are also trying to do something with their own hands but not employed. So we have all these categories of people over here, and then we are getting to that point in life where it's like it's not enough. Whatever it is that you are making, it's not enough for the demands that you are growing up to every single day of your life. And it looks like there are others who are more or less like same age range with us or cohort with us, and they are also involved in something like that, but then it looks like we wouldn't say it's enough for them, but some way somehow it's like they are doing quite well. So we just want to find out maybe if there is something we are missing, not to really, let's say, put us down, but then it's just we want to be inspired to actually know that, all right, there is much out there. There are bigger opportunities out there. We want to know how, because we feel like it's not out there. We feel like we are looking for a new job and we are not getting some, and then the jobs, they are choked, and then blah, 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 blah. And where we are, it's not paying well. So we have these complaints like how some of the masses out there do have. And then those that are also doing their own thing also have their own complaints that is not really doing well. I think I don't have enough money. I want some capital and all of those stuff. So these are the people who also met here. There may be some who are also doing some other things altogether. But altogether, this is who we want to describe ourselves as to you. So that you can, in your story, be able to identify us in there and be able to at least share some of the things that along the lines you were able to pick up, which we would need at this very point in time to make a very, very, specific decision that would possibly change some things for us. So on that note, I would want you to share with us your story from the beginning like us to the point where you branch into these multiple sites we are seeing now. I think we are very much interested in that. We want to know, okay, where you began from. Not like story like, hey, not like I was born here, there was no school. No, we want something like, right, I was in school, maybe I left the school, I said, you're not helping me, I want to do business. There are people like that here, like, yes, oh, Ryan is not here. Or, we just want to know how you started. And then I think we can be able to relate with it and then see how you were able to navigate your path through this or to this point. So please, that is the question. So tell us the story from the point A to the point maybe B you feel you are now. I'm sure you are not at Z. You feel like there is more to do. So we just want to know.
Do we have the time? Please, how many minutes do I have for that? I know how like
we can work with 5 minutes for that.
Okay. Yes. Wow. Okay. So let me fast forward. Okay. I just wanted to get like the mindset, right?
Yes,
so I'll just go around those lines. So completed St. Martin's in 2014, right?
Okay.
Then straight up went to UPSA.
Oh, okay.
So after UPSA first semester. Now listen, I would say this, it pays to serve God, right?
It pays to
serve God. So after first semester, so straight up went to campus, started ministry on campus, chapter on campus. And then at the end of the first semester, I wasn't okay with what was happening, right? So then people were not really showing up, and stuff. So let's say you're a cell leader here or something. You are expecting one brother to really help you with the ministry on campus. Person will be like, I'm coming, we are doing this, and stuff. The person doesn't show, it can be disheartening sometimes. I remember the first time, if there's something like depression, I don't think like if there's something like depression with a Christian, I think that was the time I really experienced like my fair share in ministry.
My fair share,
right?
Okay.
Because I remember I went for cell meeting, no one showed up. I just felt like going home. I just went home. I didn't want to die, but I wanted to sleep for a very long time. Because you've prepared for the cell meeting, you've gone, you've invited, we are coming, like and stuff. And then the Christian brother you are helping to help you, and then that's okay anyway. So the semester ended. Before the next semester reopened, I came to school earlier because I wanted to spend time to pray into
All right.
So during that time period and stuff, I met one of my course-mates. And he was like, he had this with me, he's doing ACCA. I'm like, wow, ACCA. Okay, so I went up, spoke to the guy during the free prayers, right? So he told him about ACCA, and about how the fact that while doing ACCA, you're going to get, after your second pass, you're going to get a degree from Oxford University.
Okay.
I'm like, whoops, it makes sense. Like, why don't I need a UPSC certificate if I can get one from Oxford University?
Okay.
So I called my mom, I'm like, Mom, forget it. We won't do degree, finish, and come and do ACC. I don't have time. I'm going to do ministry after school, so you know what? Let's do it now. Okay. So I told her, she was like, okay.
All right.
Let's do it. So that's how I switched to ACCA. But then while at it, it got a point like I really came to me that, or it dawned on me that I don't want to be a manager.
Okay.
Right? I want to be a creator. Right? And
creator.
that's what actually resonates with me.
Okay.
And I found out that ACC, I'll get Oxford University certificate, fine. When I finish, I'll become a chartered accountant. What happens after that?
What happens after that?
What happens after that is that you're just going to be an accountant managing books and stuff like that. You're not going to make the decisions. You're not going to call the shots. Right?
Okay.
And that's not me.
All
so
right.
I realized, and this ended. So from there, I switched. Right.
First, it was a UPSC switching.
Yeah, so first UPSC switching. Then
to the ECCA.
ECCA
Then
switching.
Was it after the ECCA?
No.
You did not after it?
I did ACC after part 1, switch. Right. So part 1, I got my diploma.
Oh no, wait, please, can we all come together here? You need to get it. You need to get this, okay? All right. So the UPSA was like first year, after the first 1 year,
First
or
semester.
first
semester, so second semester switch. No, so
after the first semester, then there was a switch. Please understand that it was a purposeful switching.
Sure.
Not just a switching because Charlie means sharing and But the proposal switching to the.
I gathered information, right? So
Okay.
after I spoke to a gentleman, not that I spoke to a gentleman, I was like, I'm fully down. So no. It's okay. So where's the office? We went to the office. Went
Okay.
to get like more information. Okay, so the things are really true. Then they gave me their handouts, right?
Okay.
And then details to know. Okay, so this is it. We'll give you this time period. If you can finish the part in this time period, you're getting the certificate. Right? Okay, fine, confirmed. Okay, then so you're going to have to bring your WASI certificate and then this and this and this
Okay.
and that. And now, okay, fine. So based on that, I
Great.
thought about it. So I was
Okay.
like,
Then you
fine.
began the part one. Then after the part one.
Part one. Then, so during that time period, when I was in school, I was involved in with a company called, should I say, Real Fortune Group, right?
Okay.
Now, this was a time when we had a lot of like online gigs in the form of what's the name for this thing again? I want to find the right word for it. The right word for it. So this kind of referral affiliate
Okay, like
programs, where you
affiliate
have to
programs,
refer someone, the person refer someone, refer that kind of schemes, right? So in that period, I'd been with them for a while, and during that space, I was exposed to one gentleman in South Africa who was really making it in the forex space. Right?
Okay.
Fine. So while at ACCA, so I spent the fact that I wanted to create, right? And I like finance. Like it's one of the things I like finance. Not like no money. Finance,
but finance. Okay.
Finance a lot. Because like growing up, I was raised by a banker, so that finance mind was the like sense, right? Yeah. And so when I saw that, I was like, wow, I like finance, and this looks like something real good. And aside that, also, things were not really solid at home.
All right.
Yeah. So the kind of sponsorship for the ACCA, because ACCA papers are expensive,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
It's like way back, not just now. And so, and the kind of work I was putting into it, like you can't afford to fail. Like, what is expensive? ICA you can decide to fail. It's not that expensive. ACCA you don't want to fail.
Okay.
It's not even about the receipt. The amount involved to fail, you don't want. You don't want to pay that money again.
Okay.
Right? So I said, okay, fine. So I like finance. I don't want to manage. I want to create. This is a perfect timing. So I had that lean way with my parents, right? Because money is not really coming in. And I want to create, so it's what it
From
is.
first one in EPS, they say, okay, you can go ahead. This one you say you can go ahead. This one you say you don't want to switch.
So this time around, I
was
really
it not?
had,
Please, a minute, all right. Like, wait, was it like okay? They understood, because I think as a parent I should be scared. For me to feel like my child is indecisive, or why is he jumping from one to the other? It looks like he's not having direction.
Okay.
For me as a parent, not for me as a parent, though. But I feel like I should be tempted to feel like, no, you are making, like, this does not look promising. I don't know if there was any issue of that sort.
So, this is 2014.
Yes.
I think where the problem would have been is if I didn't really get admission that year. So I I got this. Like,
Okay.
I'm going for meetings and stuff. You needed me to pass the WASI. I did.
You passed.
I got admission
Okay.
in the uni, right?
Okay.
And it's okay. Then that whole year, so 2014 I got into school. January, ACCA. That whole year,
Okay.
ACCA, right? So I'm doing it. And I passed my paper. I didn't fail.
You passed papers,
I passed
okay.
the paper, I didn't fail. So
Okay.
part one done. So now, you don't really have the money for me to continue going ahead, right? And
That's an interesting bit.
And I actually want to do this, so there's so assuming I was failing, there was like, you actually want to switch because you're failing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
that wasn't it. So
All right.
that's how come I was given that lean way to do that.
Okay.
So it was like, you got it. So
All right. So now let's get to the switch. So after the ACCA switch
Yeah.
to the creating side.
yeah. So creating side got me down in a lot of switches. But anyway, so from there, so now one will ask why the switch? You know, sometimes.
Please, are we following?
Okay.
All right.
So I'll just jump ahead and then come back again.
Whoa.
Oftentimes, when you begin, right, the dots don't connect.
Do it. You know, Mrs. Apia is waiting. She
Yeah.
really has something to share there.
So,
So,
the dots don't connect when you go in for it, but then when you look back, it kind of begins to connect, right?
no, I think
So-
I'm picking something very important there. Please continue.
So got into finance. I was I was really studying the thing because I liked it, right?
The
I wake up in the
forex?
morning, yeah. So
Okay.
wake up in the morning. I was not really this time. People go out about first like they just want to make money, like want to it. No. I really was studying the finance, like
Okay.
really understanding like the actual working of it. You know, some time ago, there was a year. I don't know how many of you know about it, but there was a year Fidelity Bank actually started like a brokerage here locally.
Okay.
And they had people ask come to their head office in Accra
Okay.
For training sessions and stuff. And I was
Oh,
part
alright.
of like those folks by then.
Interesting.
So that was like around 20 something, I think. That should be like 2016.
Okay.
There was 2016, 2017. So I was studying the thing, like working around. Just wake up in the morning, just on that, like studying.
Alright.
Morning, like just eat something, get ready, freshen up, sit down, back busy, studying. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because I knew nothing about the forex market.
The forex market, that's right.
Now you're going to trade with people who sit in Wall Street offices and stuff,
Yes,
and then you
yeah.
are going to like you don't want to play, right?
Yeah.
So you really have to get your stuff together. So that happened during that time.
Okay.
Now I studied it, demoed a little bit, then I found out that you really need to go live. So I went live, right?
Okay.
But then, how much could I afford back then? $100. So it's not something that I really could make something. So I was trading that then, but then because I was a UPSA, my brother Pastor Wise was
Yes.
at GTUC at the time.
Right.
So sorry, that time it was called GTUC, and now this is called GCTU.
GCTU.
So yeah, so I was going there like let's say because I was just studying forex and stuff, gold and stuff. Then during that time, he was in IT, you know, and that time you want to start something, you want to do something, you want to build something, right? So first we were play with some ideas, you know.
Okay.
Why not sell Bitcoin online?
Okay.
Back then, right?
Okay.
Why not create a platform? So create like a blog and then use Google AdSense to monetize. Okay, no. Okay, try it. Okay, no. You know what? Let's try to do Bitcoin sales, right? Okay. So we were just playing with IT, anything we can build a website for or something like that. So while at it, I was
Okay.
actually learning the forex. Now, there was a time when I was trading. I knew that I was okay over time. I would get good at it. That's one. But then there were certain things realistically. Now, when I'm doing something, I want to be good at it. That's
You want to be good at it.
you want
Okay.
to I want to be good at it. I noticed that the kind of dedication it would need for me to really do forex, right, and really like do something
Do something significant.
it could affect my spiritual life.
Okay.
Yeah, really. Because, so for instance, when you really, really learn a lot, you understand that while you're sleeping, you really don't sleep. Now, this
Yes.
is me. I'm learning about forex online. When I'm sleeping, I want to play like some, let's say, analysis and stuff like audio.
Okay.
And then stuff so that when I wake up, like my mind is really like in the zone. Because when you
Wow.
actually trade forex, you understand that a lot depends on psychology, on the trader psychology, right?
Yes.
Or else when your psychology end right, you'll be making decisions on the go. So immediately something shoots up, you want to react.
Okay.
But when your psychology is right, you have a trading plan, you are able to hold your nerves and stuff like that. And I knew that no. Listen, I'm supposed to be praying the night for souls.
And
I don't have
meditating.
time for that. So going at it, we were like, so I knew that no. So that was around the time when the startup boom started in Ghana.
The startup. Yeah.
Had thrown money in our space, and everybody like programs and stuff were like just shooting up everywhere, and then people were starting. So during that time, because I was very committed to forex, and I wasn't. So this is actually how that switch up. So I wasn't really because I was very committed. I didn't have a PC by then.
Whoa.
So I was using a friend's PC. Now, when this friend went to, this friend schools at UCC, and it was during the back, so
Okay.
long back, so I used it to study. Now, when he went back, he took the laptop on him. Right? Now, during that time period, so kind of like simultaneous, right? He took the PC around, and I was also working here when I just switched with Pastor. I was like, okay, fine. There's an issue because they wanted to get accommodation, and they had one tough time.
Okay.
And it's the same as UPSA.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, oh, why don't you just get a website and get apartments on there and stuff so that people can just either for a hostel and apartments and stuff like that. So, okay, let's do it. So let's get a website together and stuff like that, and then let's list the apartment. So that idea was brewing. Now there's this gentleman.
You did not program some?
No. I didn't program some. So it's all about. So I'm more of like, should I say like creation?
Yeah, the creating.
The problem is this. We can solve it like this. Problem, you need apartments. You don't know where all the apartments around campus are.
Yes.
So we make it accessible to you online on a web platform, right? Okay, so you go there, you search, you browse, and then you decide on where you want to go, and then you use our platform for the whole process. So that was it. So around that time, we're like around that thing and stuff. Now I don't code, so in as much as I want to build, I can't write a line.
You can't write a line of code.
Whatever, I can't. Not even the dots. I can't. The only code I've written is one I used to check. I think was it for the Wi-Fi or that one. It is generic code. Like that's the only code I've written in my life. So I think that was so. It was kind of delaying. So let's say you really want to build a thing, but you can't do it. So you really have to be on people to really get it done. And it's not like we're all young, right? There's really nothing at stake like that.
Yes.
So we kind of have time. So that happened during that time frame. So what it was kind of delaying. It wasn't really going as fast, and this was like a seasonal product,
right?
In the sense that it's when the new year or semester is beginning that people will. It's not people don't want apartments here every day.
That's right.
So during that time period, this gentleman, someone hits me up. He said, "Oh, he got my number from Dennis," and it's like all the trading, this thing and stuff. You are the guy mainly behind everything. So I really want to learn about trading, and so I want to meet you wherever you are. I'm like, really? Okay. So I'm here. Meet me up, right? So he comes, meets me up. I take him to. Actually, this is what happened. So actually, we're planning a camp at Grace Camp. So I told him, you know what? Meet me at Grace Camp.
Okay.
So he comes there. He's come to learn forex. I'm like, where he comes? Okay. So we have this camp meeting. We are going to join. And so he just after the camp meeting, then I'll teach you your forex.
Yes.
So he comes, and then after the camp meeting, I take him through and stuff, take him through, and then we needed internet by that time. The internet was really good over there. So I brought him back home. So that's how come we had like a relation. Now, after that, he went his way. I was from time to time, we just DM, stuff, but then nothing really. So I was there one time, and he was like, Kelvin, there's this opportunity I got with Enablers Ghana.
Okay.
Right. Now, so Enablers Ghana.
I'm not the only one focused like that.
Yeah, so Enablers Ghana, right? So I've gotten into it. My startup as well. I used an idea having to do with products in health tech, right? Sorry, telehealth, I mean. So I've gotten it. But I'm not getting opportunity to attend. But since you're like a serious guy, I want you to go for me. So I'm like, as a partner and stuff. So I said, okay, why not? But he didn't know that I actually said, I actually switched. I'm more into it. Now, when I was leaving for it, I didn't actually leave, okay. I had the plan that I needed capital, and at the moment the capital was in startups. So that's how we go to say. So that, and then I already had like an idea. We had found a credible solution, that like a credible problem.
Okay.
I needed a solution to be built. So that was it. So that's how come I got into Enablers.
Okay.
So when I got to Enablers, I got that's my partner and stuff, and they got me in. So we started a class, the training. So we started training about entrepreneurship, design, blah 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 stuff. So that's how it started. So got we thought about the basis of entrepreneurship and stuff.
Okay.
Up until that, I just had like raw thing, problem, solution, like, and then but I didn't really know like much marketing.
Okay.
Like the breakdown of it, working with a team, project managing, and all those details. So Enablers did like really solid one. I think that was really 2017, if I'm right.
All right.
So now that project was sponsored by the ICS. Now I don't know how many of you know, but okay, I'm on, I can't say that. So I saw some things that you are now using in Ghana that was actually ready by then.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that was, so we went for a tour there because they were not really sponsoring the program, and then from there we tried to launch the product. So I was in there, I was pitching my friend, like the guys.
Exactly. It's the guy's idea.
The guy's idea was
pitching.
there. So
Now, what it? Then they're like, anyone has opportunity to switch. And then the people were like, so I spoke to a couple of my course, my course mates. They allow me as a term course mate. I know that we're in the university, but I spoke to them and they were like, you can't pitch someone's idea. Are you for real? Like, how do you pitch someone's idea? Yeah. You don't even, it's not something you believe in. It's not something you are building. Like, how do you pitch that? So I called the guy, I was like, yo, you know, like, it's what it is now. I need you to do that. He's like, oh, okay, oh, cool. So just go ahead. And I said, okay, fine.
So you're going to now switch
the idea to my startup that we're working on campus, which has to do with apartments, right?
Okay.
And then that I had some interesting name. That's a different day's discussion. That was a one-on-one discussion.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had this, you know, we want to be spiritual. So I had this name. Yeah. So I got there for market. I learned. So that's how they tell you to read books and stuff. Okay, fine. So I went and I knew we had to switch the name of the company so that immediately you mentioned the company's name. So the company's name was ZoeNet, right?
Yes,
Zoe.
yes.
So now Zoe is God Life Net. Now you're going to look for an apartment on ZoeNet, right? Like at first I didn't want to change my mind. Like I'm not switching. Like it's the God Life. You are taking it to the world. You are not changing this thing. So when I went for marketing class, and they told me that listen, the platform. When someone hears the name of your company, the person's mind has to switch straight to what you are offering.
Okay.
Right. So that I don't need to think twice when I hear the company's name.
Yeah.
So that means you have to switch the company. So I switched to co-tenants. So
Okay.
So if you hear co-tenant, you know that it's an apartment something.
Right.
There's tenants there. So that's how come with the name page.
Anointed Hands Bakery, anointed food. Not bad. Okay.
So I know we want to be spiritual. I want to be spiritual and stuff. Yeah, yes. But there are vehicles. Right?
I want to finish with him before I come to surface myself.
There are vehicles, right?
Yes.
So we join a chariot. The fact that you are joining a chariot does not mean that you have changed. The content is still in you.
Yes.
So you just have to know how you place it in the packaging.
Okay.
Right. So that was it. So we started that. That opened up opportunity for me to get into different programs with the Ghana Innovation Hub and blah 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 stuff. And stuff. Yeah. I don't want to go into that. That's another, like a whole story. Yes. So how I got into Ghana Innovation Hub, but then it was paraphrasing. It was a word given by my man of God at Amor Camp.
Okay.
And then from there I went there. They were like, "You were not shortlisted. You didn't submit everything."
Oh.
And I'm like. Really, it's really I said I stepped out. When I stepped out of the office.
Yes.
So if you've been to the Accra Tower Center,
yes, yeah.
You know the main lobby. Mm-hmm. You get in there, you get into kind of
that's right.
Hub and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got out and got into the main lobby. I was there, and it dawned on me. I received this word. I spoke in tongues, and I got back inside.
Okay.
When I got back inside, interestingly, one program I'd been in. One of the instructors there recognized, like I know you. I'm like, yeah, we met at this iSpace had a program. And I said, yes. I'm like, I've come here, I've applied. They're like, everything is not in order, so I should go. But then I can't go. Like I can't go and come for the next cohort. They say, okay. Come for the next class. No, I can't come for that one. I need to be in this one.
This one.
So he was like, okay, sit down. The ladies are white ladies. You know, white people, they're like,
okay.
So we are not allowing that. So he goes to speak with the lady and was like, no, we're not doing that. Okay, so he comes, okay. What if some of the people shortlisted to pitch don't show up? Yes. Can he pitch? He said, okay, then he can pitch. So I sat down.
Someone is not going to show up.
More than one person didn't show up.
More than one person.
So I was there, I pitched. You know, that day, I didn't go there to pitch that day. Okay. But I had to pitch that day. So they're like, we are doing it today, so if you're going to get it, you just have to. So yeah. I pitched. My pitch wasn't solid because I wasn't prepared for it.
Looks like it, yeah.
So, but then interestingly, they had an interview session where they sit down with you and talk. So during that session, I really explained to them and everything. Like, really, okay, all right, fine.
Was that still the same co-tenant's idea or this time around?
Yeah, the same co-tenant's idea.
Okay.
So got there and they were like, okay, solid. So that was how I was shortlisted, and then I got in. And just through Ghana Innovation Hub, I got into Blue Space and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
And all of the other things.
Whoa, okay.
So that was like the main connect.
So that is pitching. So I think the final question is supposed to be, where is the co-tenant?
Where's the co-tenant?
Where is it?
All right. So co-tenant's idea. Let me put.
Is it still?
Context. So let me put a little context to it.
Okay.
So currently, the co-tenant idea isn't being built. The reason being, now when you're building, let's say, a product or a solution, when you're in startup, there are some things you'll be taught, which is that certain markets have certain dynamics.
Okay.
Right? So what happened was, with a co-tenant idea, I found out that with students, listen, for a very long time, one of the interview sessions I was asking, I know I'm going to be very rich. How I will do it, I don't know. But I know I'll be a very rich person.
Okay.
So I told the person that. So there was this white person who had come to do teasing stuff. So he was young entrepreneurs and stuff, how they are building. So I said, I'll be very rich. I don't know what I'm going to do there, but I know that for sure.
Okay.
So now, from that time, working on the co-tenant thing, after Ghana Innovation Hub, I found out that to be able to, so the co-tenant idea was that we're going to pair to students based on their interests, and then they rent an apartment.
Interesting. Okay.
Now the issue with that was we were really going with it until we found out that the student market is not really that scalable because it's not an everyday market.
Okay.
And for it to be like a real startup, you need to serve like an everyday need, right?
Okay.
And when it comes to an everyday need, the problem is that people don't really want to share an apartment with another person, right?
Yeah, part of the world,
So
yeah.
that was when taking over. So okay, so then I found out, okay, if that's the case, how do we solve that problem? If we can be able to, in abroad, you can pay for a month, right?
Yeah.
Now in Ghana, there are more like, but back then there were very few.
Okay.
So if we can give someone an opportunity to pay on a monthly basis, then they can rent. And so what happens? Can we create a feature whereby you can get something like a loan for rent advance?
Okay.
Because you're not getting that from the bank, right?
Yes.
And then you pay for the rent advance, and then you'll be paying us on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So around that time, I had that thing I was considering. I was discussing it with my people and stuff. I mean, my coaches back then, and there was an opening at. So one of my coaches mentioned that there's this feature is a fintech, something the fintech space,
right.
And then Betway, after collecting the bet money, are trying to do something substantial with. Hey, I'm online. Okay. So they are trying to create a program for entrepreneurs, like young people entrepreneurs and stuff. So I applied, and then I got in with a fintech challenge. So I was also taught like a couple of things and stuff, and that really got me into like the whole product thing, because I did a lot of design, schooling and stuff, and how to mark things up. So I got in there. And then I don't know what to say about when I got in. So now everything is looking rosy, right? Let me give you some real back, like heart burning things. So I got, after the Betway project. Now I didn't win the Ghana Innovation Hub.
The pitching one.
But then you get some capital for building a prototype and testing. But the fintech product, I was like, no, you got this. By faith confessions and everything, I got this. My faith is on. Like, nobody's winning this thing. It is me.
Okay.
I'm the one winning this thing. So we go on D-Day. Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Whoa.
So on the D-Day, we are at Academic Town Center, like the big place. Media houses are there. People are there. Judges. Top people.
Whoa, okay.
And stuff. Everyone is there. Because Betway is a big brand, so they have to bring their marketing hype and the media thing around it. So everyone was there, live screen. It's okay, fine. My co-founder does not show up.
Whoa.
Like, of all the days you don't show up, like today, not today, he doesn't show up. So that means I'm alone. And they said everyone should come pick. No one wants to pitch first, right? Because you don't want to pitch first, like everybody's looking at you, like, and they are ready to ask you questions. It's not like when you finish saying your mind, they're going to sit down. No, they'll ask you questions. So from there, they wrote numbers down for everyone to pick.
Okay.
So that means you pick number one, you pitch it first.
Okay.
I don't know how it happened.
Okay.
I picked one.
You picked number one. You are the first in everything, so you have to be.
Co-founder don't show up. You pick number one. All right. We got this. We went forward. Pitch. This is the screen behind. You have stage monitors.
Yes.
And then you have your projector. Sorry, your pointer, right?
Pointer, right.
We start. when
Slides.
I have this first slide, I'm gonna do there, like captivating him to hit you right there, like the president is on there.
Okay.
Like the problem with accommodation is a massive problem. Like we have a huge deficit. Like I'm about to finish them.
Yes.
Some way, somehow, the screens have a problem. And they're trying to sort it out. They're like, okay,
you know what?
Since you have the slide, just continue.
Let's continue.
The thing has to be projected and explained.
Yes.
Like that is the thing. Like, you are kidding me. The pitch, like everything was bad because we have rehearsed, right? The rehearsal was that.
That's right.
See that?
Yes.
Now, you say I shouldn't do it. I should just be talking. Like, I spoke. Now the people started questioning. Like, I was explaining some simple tech to these guys, like, so what if the people don't pay after you give them the loan?
Of course,
we are using IT, we are using big data. We use big data, we'll be able to use that to show if the person will pay back the loan. And you know, back then we had a lot of data sources that when you use, you can be able to determine if someone would actually fulfill their credits, right? Spoke, the guys, no, I'm not buying this thing, this tech is not real. I'm like,
okay.
For real, this is tech. You are telling me this tech is not real. So we spoke about the stuff. Like, okay, and then yesterday we are going to get data from MTN with airtime pages. I said, so what if MTN doesn't give you the access? I'm like, why won't MTN give us the access? I said, we'll use it, just agree. And anyway, we were talking back and forth, and then blah, 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 went to sit down.
Whoa.
We finished the pitch. One savings company got it. I'm like, savings, like, digitizing savings.
Okay.
After that pitch, like I was down. I went to innovation. I just lied, and we have this. It's like what's the name for it? It's for massage. When you set off, it's for long hours. Airbags. So I sat on the airbag. I was just down. One of my partners from the innovation hub quotes. So I was like, bro, it's not your fault. Like,
bro, it's
everything just went bad. So, remembering that, it makes me emotional. So, I think I was really down by then.
Wow.
Like, really down.
Everybody
I went to my faith confessions. I got this. Like,
yeah,
I'm winning this thing. Like, forget it. So, I went back. A lot of people don't know this story. Like, I went back. I was in a room all the time. I didn't go out. I was just inside indoors.
Okay. This one is business depression. The first one was ministry depression.
Yeah,
business depression.
This one is business one. Like, because, like, you don't speak in tongues. I speak in tongues.
That's right. You know, that's the point.
I have faith. I have the word of God. I'm confessing. Like, yes. I've done my pitch. I have a better idea than yours. Like, I'm for real. We are talking about changing the whole, like, real estate space, like financial something. We are talking about digitizing. I'm for real. So, they just don't get started like this. It really got like.
So that was, I think that's been like the major pitch for you. So
yeah.
I think I could conclude there by saying that. So from having to be working, let's say, a lot of pitches concerning your own ideas, now you come to a point where now you are becoming, like you are actually a product designer for the problems of people. So now you are giving solutions for their problem, and you solve it, then you collect the money. So now it's not something you are building as your personal solution that you are building to work, but now you are, by reason of all the times where you have been trying to solve a problem and stuff like that. Right. Now you have come to the point where now you are solving the problem of others and you are collecting the money from it. Right. But alongside that, you are still working on having to solve a personal problem as well, and that's entrepreneurship side of it.
I'll give a little story.
Okay.
So after
this
that
is the last
time,
one before.
Yeah. After that time, fast forward from that time and stuff, I got out of it eventually. Of course, I'm a Christian. Like, we don't stay down for that long.
Okay.
So, and then for me, when it comes for meetings, the word of God and stuff, like, this word thing we are taking over one way or the other. It might not look like it, but we got this.
That's right.
So that's it. And then during that time, now I got to a time, I read a lot.
Okay.
So like study and then accumulate experience and stuff. So at that time, I was like the reason I'm not even working is that no company can employ me. Like, cause I'm like too much value.
They can't relate. They can't relate.
So like I'm on a level. So, but then around the end of the year time, I was like, you have so much value.
Okay.
You're good. But you broke.
But you broke, man.
So,
man.
then it happens. So, the Holy Spirit ministered to me.
Please, this I want this part.
Yeah,
okay, I'm listening. I know there's a member has a lot to say about that part.
You are valuable, yeah. But then the value you have currently, you are not in a marketplace that recognize that value. So therefore, you are not being rewarded for the value that you have.
Okay.
So it's like, okay. Now it was around that time, Man of God was having some sessions for some select people at church on leadership and stuff, and then we're working along the lines of Proverbs about counting the cost when they're building something and all of that. Yeah. So I got a lot that also inputs at that time. It's really like it's a blessing to go to church. You can't afford to miss church service. Like you can't afford it. So during that time, I got those. So the following year, had it not been for that info,
yes,
one of my coaches called me, like back in the days, like, you're still working on that project, right? I said, yeah, I'm still on it.
You're still working on the project?
Yeah. No, we are thinking about the world. Like we are not living anytime soon. So I was on that, and he was like, okay, so you're a startup founder.
Yeah.
You need an office space to work, right?
Okay.
Sure. Okay. So you know what? We're going to get into this agreement. I'm handling some stuff for now. Ghana Innovation Hub is a partnership between Blue Space Africa, Ghana Communications Technology University, and then MDF West Africa.
Whoa, okay.
Right? Three like big institutions partnered to run the Ghana Innovation Hub. So my coach directly is from Blue Space Africa. Right. So he calls me, okay, so come help. In return, you're going to get a space so you can work, right? An office space. And then you get a little
your salary is the space.
Yeah, so you get a little stipend for transportation and back and forth. You can have that clear because if you work at home all the time, be honest, like sometimes it doesn't really help.
Someone has to hear this one.
It doesn't really help all the time. Home. So when you're working from home, sometimes you want to go to a space where no matter how you try to explain, it's what it is. So I started going and back and forth like that. And then, so had it not been for that witness of the Holy Spirit and the man of God's teaching, if that opportunity came, I'll be like, no way. For real. Like, the value I carry. Like, I'm not going there. You can't pay me. You can't pay my time. Like, you can't pay, right? But then, because I had that, like, okay, I know, I get so I started going. So that's now led to and getting to now. When I got into Blue Space now, now it happens that the experiences,
yes,
and then the learning processes and stuff, all of them came in hand.
All of them
came
in, right?
I was just like wiring them all the time.
Okay.
Like, so my direct boss, the direct coach, actually eventually left. Now while he was there, sometimes you just leave everything, Kelvin, and I'm like,
you came to use space.
Yeah, I came to use space, so and I'm just, and then so being responsible, being competent, right? So you get by the time everything is sorted, there's no problem, there's no after issues. You give something to someone to do, you come back, it's like, who's like
so I've done your own thing, yeah.
So I'm back in. So when he left, I took actually taking over, and then they didn't even know hotel.
Whoa.
I was super like for a while then. So when a new person comes, they're like, the person cannot run the house because now we got into COVID time, and we braked and back, so I left. And after that, my direct boss left Blue Space, so someone else had come. When the person came back, he was like, this way, how are they actually doing it? And so he called the main officer, like, I can't do this all by myself, I need someone. Then they said there's a guy, his name is Kelvin, that you don't know him. They're like, Kelvin, we don't know him, so stop that. So because I wasn't known at Blue Space, like official. I was directly working with like my direct boss.
You're not in the records.
I'm not really in the records. So
do you get a picture? Just like he was there helping, more or less like helping him unofficially.
Yeah.
So he wasn't officially employed by him.
So the only person who so he had just mentioned me once to his direct boss by then. So they kind of had an idea that someone do something like an internship, right? Not really something permanent. Okay, so but then the person said, no, please, I need that guy to come. So they got the contact, and then when he went, the people at the government institution were telling him that there's this guy and stuff. Where is he? And who is that? So they actually get a contact, and then she called. So like, hey, hello, I'm the new person that is replacing this person and stuff. I'm like, okay. So why not come around? I said, I'm not coming to do anything there. And he's like, oh, okay, so can you come around? Do you have something? I said, I'll think about it. He was like, not like I was really doing something, but he was like, I don't think about it. Actually, that day I was actually planning on I was coming to Insound or something for some, headquarters in Sound. So I was going to headquarters. So I was at Tantra by then.
Okay.
So going back, and then he says, oh, you know what? I really like you to come. Whatever you have been paid, consider it done, paid, like handled, like you sorted. Okay, fine, okay. So I said, okay, when can you come in? I said, okay, I'll come in next week. So that's can't you come earlier? I said, okay, I'll try to come tomorrow. So no, why about today? Like come today. I was like, okay, I'll be late, but I said, oh, don't worry, whatever time, just come in today. Today. So that's how come I went that day, and then started from there. And she just wasn't getting, so she just left and stuff. And then from there, and I was just handling my direct, and I was that's what sometimes tell people, when you get to a space, right?
Okay.
It can happen that you're being paid, let's say, 10 cedis a day, just example.
All right.
It will not really do anything, right?
Yes.
But there is this maxim in the business where they say that when you do more than you are being paid for, you eventually get paid more.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
So at that time, I was
when
there.
When you do more than you are being paid for, you would eventually get
paid more. Okay. So during that time period, it happens. I'm working like really hard, like got everything. The lady actually left everything. So I was handling everything and stuff like. So the CEO contacted my boss's boss.
Yes.
That what's happening now? This I said, oh, there's one guy called me, he's got everything. I said, okay, arrange a call and stuff. So I was actually on my way to like the boss. I didn't know his call. He had this video. Who is this?
Who is this?
It's like Sam. And my boss was very calm. Like, Sam, call me Sam. He was like, listen, he's no Sam. Like he's delivering me. What is he? That's the boss. Right? Okay. So he comes to Sam and stuff. Okay, so how much? So everything and stuff. So before then, my direct boss's boss had told me that, okay, oh, how much are you being paid? I told him, I said, no, really? Who pays you that? No. Okay. They're taking you like over. I got like 3 times like straight.
Should we mention that one?
So 3 times straight up.
Should we mention the figure?
No. So straight up, like three times increase.
But 3 times you put it there.
So from there, started. So after I spoke to my direct boss, he was like, okay, all right, so how much, let's say, have you been paid for that? Like, oh, yeah, something just came. So, okay, I'm sending you something. The something was more than the 3 times. Whoa. So that's how we went. Now, around that time, all this is connected to me. Around that time, we were working on a night of healing. So I needed the money. I needed it. When it came, so that day, I was speaking to us. I was very DJ and stuff like that. So that morning, the call came in, the money dropped. I said, as I paid for the venue, we got it. So we paid for the venue right away, right? So that was it. And then from there, like, it was just, and whenever they would give me something, it's like, and who have you been on this? Or like you got this, right? Like, you know, you don't need supervision. That one who doesn't need supervision, like, do this, you do it, and sometimes you do more. Everything is done and stuff like that. So that was it. And then it got to a time, and because I was really good at it, it got to a time I now had like the cards. So there was a time I traveled for work and stuff. We got there. They're supposed to give me an official contract, right? Yes. To cement that our called me by the contract and stuff like that. And then while we are at it, they want to like, you know, they want to. But I'm like, my mom says that I can't travel and go and be working somewhere when I don't have a contract. So you don't send a contract this week, I'm coming back to Accra. You're like, oh, you don't have to do that. We're going to get it back to you and stuff like that. Before they send it back to me and stuff. So I saw it. Okay. I spoke to my direct, but like he was really good at it. Boss, so the figure they are giving me, should I take them? No, tell them. If you're not okay with it, tell them. So I took my PC. See you. Okay. Copy the rest. this amount of money will not really help with this stuff. So I need this amount. Now, I've learned they need this amount. Now, I've learned these things. You can actually ask for more. So I asked this stuff and things. So I didn't go. He told me go straight to the big man. You have his email. You are in company email. So straight to him. Then copy the rest. And I sent it. So the first one they paid. By the time I got back, they had increased it to the amount I wanted, and then that was like, let's say it's on that.
Okay.
Regard, yeah.
I think we can give it up over there. This is the point where in the traditional study you hear I tap into it, I receive it. Now I think you can tap right now. Right now you have seen the journey. You've seen the journey, and finally I want to have Mrs. Apia get to also give us the whole. I gave him 5 minutes. I think I have to give her 1 minute, because look at what the 5 minutes meant. So I think now we have to do 1 minute here, so that the 1 minute multiply it by whatever he multiplied it by. So let me at least help you here. So I have personal expectations when it comes to you, and I brought all the ladies. Where, please, can you guys move here? Can you move here? Move from there. So everybody move, please. Everybody move. Come here, including you. Come. So my expectation is basically, let us understand the great. We want to be blessed by the great. So share with us what these hands have handled, and how you've been doing that. So let's start with a story. So please take us through that.
Thank you very much.
Are you seeing the ring on the left hand? Yeah. Yes, I'm seeing it. Please let me be. All right, please, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. So mine is not like his, though. I was really enjoying.
Yeah, I think he has been giving some details that have not been given, out there,
So, right from SHS, Accra Girls, I completed.
Okay.
And then, when you have to do your own funding for school,
yes,
you would always want to take the shortcuts because you are funding your own thing. So, I actually wanted to go and do fashion and design.
Okay.
So,
are you here?
I bought forms, I went to the university, submitted. And then when I got to the administration, the person I met took my forms and looked at my results and was like, with this results, you want to do fashion, but I'm going to do business administration.
Okay.
Then she said, your results are too good for fashion.
Oh, fashion people, I hope you're not offended.
It doesn't mean that those who do fashion are dumb.
Exactly the point. So
it's a passion the person.
I hope it was a prophecy. I believe so, somehow.
She just put me off the whole. I just collected my everything. I paid the money. I left the money. I packed it and I went back home.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because she put me off.
Okay.
So I was just lost interest in the fashion. So that was where my first sweatshirt came. So I ran away from fashion. Then I went to do a sandwich course. Because at that time I was working right from SHS.
Okay.
I was working in a construction firm.
All right.
So I had to do a sandwich course because I didn't have much time. And the funding was not there. I couldn't afford a 4-year course.
All right.
So I had to do sandwich.
Okay.
So I did ICM. Then I wrote my exams at Zenith College.
What's ICM?
Institute of Conventional Management, UK.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I did 8 courses, 8 different human resource, customer service.
You have done all of these things. Oh, really?
Marketing.
Interesting.
International business relation. I just put all those courses together and did it in 6 months.
Okay.
Because I need time, sir.
Okay.
So I had to sandwich all of that. So then after, this one is not really related. But right after I finished with the ICM, I had to move out of my family house.
Okay.
When I say family house, I mean from under somebody else's roof, I had to move out.
Okay.
It wasn't by will, but like Pastor Kelvin said, when ministry calls, sometimes you need to forgo the comfort you are in.
Okay.
Because I was given the option of staying to do this or living to follow Christ.
You guys, you understand, right?
So I know you understand.
Yeah, I hope you guys understand.
And I chose the latter. Like I would live and be able to do my Christ thing.
Okay.
So packed all the savings I had done right after working for Mercy Church, and I rented a place. The right as I rented the place, I lost my job at the construction
firm. Okay. What were you doing there? Were you carrying some of the cement or what?
No, please. I was a PA to the CEO.
Oh, all right.
So,
okay.
And then I lost my job there due to something backstage story. So,
okay.
And then I was home. I had to look for a job.
So you have moved to the new space.
After I had moved in, family telling you that as you are carrying your bag, you don't have
yourself, right?
You know, you're on your own.
Okay.
Like called family meetings and say that you want to do Christ, you're on your own. So you are not the first to be told that. Don't worry.
Okay.
We survived it. You will survive.
Okay.
You will not die. Don't worry.
Okay.
So as you are moving out, you are not part of the family anymore. So you're on your own. Mm-hmm. And then I move out, and in less than 3 months, I lost my job.
Okay.
So now I can't go back home. I can't go back home for anything. And you know, I had a deal with God. Even that time I told God, Master, it's not like in a disrespectful manner.
Right.
But Master, as I leave, if you don't know and you make me come back, it's on you. Because I left because of you. So
right.
You are the one to blame. Me. And my somewhere is I should come and follow you.
Oh, okay.
So it's on you. And amazingly, I was fended for. That's also another backstage story.
All right.
So after 1 year of being unemployed.
Whoa, it took 1 year.
It took 1 year, 12 months, solid. 12 solid months of being unemployed.
I think it took several years, like 4 years of pitching. So how did the Holy Ghost say that? Hey, all the values were broke.
So I was just home. Okay. I wake up in the morning. I'm watching telly. I'm not a telly person like that,
but you have to.
You come and meet me playing Ludo all by myself.
Hey,
I'm alone. You know, I'm alone, and I don't have friends. I'm not a friend person. And you're not ministry.
That's right.
Always in my room. Either I'm watching telly or I'm playing Ludo by myself. For 1 year, Sundays I'll get up and go to church and come home. Midweek service I will go, come home for 1 solid year, 12 months. Whoa. So a friend called and said, "Come pay me a visit at my workplace." I said, "Okay." So I went. Then I met her boss. Okay. He was like, "Hey, you are very nice. You are friendly. What do you do?" I said, "Oh, for now, I'm home. I'm still looking for something.
I work from home.
I work from home." And she was like, "Okay, so bring in your application." I said, "Apply as what?" He said, "Mikra minimo." So I just wrote something because I should bring. So I added my CV, copies of my certificates, and then I was waiting for the call. 1 month they train, no call. 2 months, no call.
Whoa. Okay.
So my pastor, Reverend Frimpong, called one time and he was like, "Favor, don't worry, you are getting a job soon."
Okay.
It's like, yeah, I believe. After that word, 1 month they train, 2 months they train.
Okay.
Word, you know, and word there. But I still knew that I was going to get the job as God has spoken. So I was on one Thursday morning, then I had a call, "Come to the office right now." So I went. Then I met, so it was a white man and a black man. Then the black man was like, "Where is your CV?" It's like, "Oh, I brought it earlier. We can't find it. You have to go back and prepare another CV." The white man goes like, "The person is here. I don't need a CV."
Okay. Okay.
I just did. I just knew this can only be God. Said, "No, I don't need a CV. The person is here, so we can get whatever is on the CV from her."
Right.
So right there, I was interviewed and then asked how much I was taking in my previous work. I mentioned, they also mentioned, I was like, "Oh, I'm coming from far. If I take all my TNT out, I can't even pay my rent. So please come up where you are there." So he said, "Okay, we'll think about it. But can you start work today?"
Hey.
I was like, "I'm not prepared for work." So okay, then go and then come back tomorrow. So I came back and there was actually no vacancy.
Whoa.
So not like this is the job you are coming to do. There was no vacancy. So I was asked to assist another salesperson in her van. So I was an assistant.
Okay.
Then after a month or two, the marketing manager calls me and says, I want to create something for you.
Okay.
There is no space, but we'll find space for you.
All right.
So the company bought a new van and just got me something to do, even though there was nothing to do. Just go and do something.
That's quite prophetic. I think somebody needs to get a hold of that.
Just go and do something. So I was there, and what they gave me wasn't doing so well. Then after a while, I didn't even take like 2 months in that aspect. Then they was like, you are too good for what you are doing. Whoa. It's like, the way you are good, we know you are good, but what you are doing is not bringing the best.
That's right.
So they put that on hold, took somebody's own and gave it to me, and then we assigned the person to a different field.
Okay.
So I've been working there for quite a couple of years, because it gives me the flexibility to be able to still do church.
All right.
Because I didn't also want a situation whereby God give me a job, now I have a job, and I tell God because of the job I can't be in church. So I didn't want anything like that. And this current job gives me that flexibility. I close at 5. So once I close, I'm headed for music service. I don't work on Saturdays. I don't work on Sundays.
Okay.
I don't work on holidays. So I'm able to have that space to do ministry.
Right.
So I'm comfortable. So I'm not if I'm leaving, then it means I'm not working for anybody again.
Oh,
that's the deal.
That's the deal. Okay.
Yeah. Once I leave, then it means I'm not going to be employed by anybody again.
Okay.
So along the line, I started my own eatery called Food Cuisine.
Okay. So
like man of God was talking about name. So it was a lot. By God's grace. And so one time I was praying about the name. I was like, I need a name for this business. And then the Spirit of God ministered to me like, if you attach these by His grace to a business, it literally collapses.
Okay.
These things put some people off.
That's right.
We are powerful Christians, but the moment you begin to do by His grace, finger of God, hope of Christ, from the beginning, the business has already collapsed.
Hey.
So somebody will be like, okay, so I'm not, mind you, the business you are doing is not to serve only Christians, it's to serve the community.
Right.
And so somebody who is that, I don't want to use the word here, would say, which Nyame is trying.
Okay.
So, prayed, then the name came Food Cuisine, which actually means food kitchen.
Right.
So, I started that. When I put up the structure, I intended to do something small. The time I realized I have something big and the money is finished.
Oh, okay.
Structure not just
okay.
And for 2 years, nothing.
After building the shop 2 years,
nothing happened. It was closed with padlocks.
Okay.
Not because money was not coming in, but at that time I had other priorities.
Right.
And looking back today, it shouldn't have been so.
Okay.
The priorities I had were not bad.
Okay.
It was ministry.
Right.
But to be able to do more, I should have invested earlier.
Oh, okay. Take your time for me at this point. Although it will hurt some things, but I'm sure maybe Pastor Kevin has something to say there, but you will come there.
You know, you are sponsoring ministry. And aside sponsoring ministry, I had other people I was literally taking care of. I had people in SHS.
Whoa.
I had some in tertiary. I had primary school.
That you were paying their fees.
I was paying fees and feeding, you know, and so it was putting a little bit of pressure on my finance.
Okay.
So I couldn't focus on the business. So for 2 years, I didn't do anything. And I was praying to God to, you know, we hear the world and Minister Halafu will come and stand and say, Minister Favor, run to me.
Run to me.
Pastor Kelvin, where are you? Pastor Wise, appear. And all these word prophecies were, you know, and you know that, Charlie, wealth in India, you are wealthy.
Yes.
But how, through which avenue is it going to come from?
Okay.
I will bless the works of your hands. So, which work is He blessing?
Okay.
If there is nothing doing, Then after 2 years, I went back to, Dimitrim Kakra, so that I'll be able to.
What is Dimitrim?
Like, not not in connection with direct ministry help.
Okay.
That one, I will not tamper with it.
Okay.
But like outsiders, mommy, I'm hungry. There was a time. There was a time, one person called me, mommy, come to me, say we're fridge no. Fridge no I was like, oh, mommy, I'm really hungry. I said, I know, but do Timan agree?
So like that was the time you more or less like had to review some things and
had to review a couple of things, not directly in ministry.
Okay.
Because that one you can't joke with it. When
the venue partnership must come.
That one you don't joke with it.
Pastor Kelvin he will emphasize that one.
Because like Pastor Kelvin received, I'm sending you something small. And then we're having Healing Jesus at 37 night of healing around 37 thereabout. And it was that day we didn't even have venue. Everybody was calling because he was in charge.
Yes.
And the money came now. It went there. So that one you don't joke with it.
Okay.
They know the am fire and sank. The deal with him doesn't affect that. But maybe some other petty things I had to put on hold to be able to invest in the business. Because once the business is running, now I have 2 streams of income.
Okay.
I'm going to get from where I am employed and from my own business.
Okay.
So I'll be able to help more people.
That's right.
Instead of just helping a few and then putting the business on hold.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I did. My first worker came in, and because I'm employed, I'm working for somebody.
Yes.
And I need to take care of the person's business as well. I don't stay in Accra that much.
Okay.
So when I leave, the business is in the hands of the worker.
Okay.
And so they saw it, the first person saw it as an opportunity, say, Madam in Niho. So by the time I realized, shut down.
All right.
Money was finished, goods are out of stock. And there was nothing to restock.
Okay.
A third person, the first person that left, actually, I don't know what they are, but the person left.
Okay.
So the second person spends the money. Then I took a third person. I was like, okay, now,
Okay.
I tried. And she also spent the money. She spent the first one. Then I said, I can't close down again.
Okay.
So I reinvested. And she spent it again. So now I had to take over.
You had to take over, okay.
So by taking over, I'll go to work in the morning from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'll close at 5 and head back to food cuisine to go and cook.
Okay.
So I was serving evenings. And before you start any business, if you are not meeting the needs of people, you will not make any money.
Right.
Business is meeting that you find a problem and you solve it.
Okay.
Then you are doing real business. The fact that everybody is selling slippers, so let me also sell slippers, it will not work because you will not be serving any need. So I did a few survey around and I realized that, okay, they need this particular meal at this particular times and they don't have it. Okay. They would have to maybe pick other boat, go there by themselves or boat delivery. So, okay, if the day one is not helping me, I close it down and then shift the focus. And so I close at 5. I go and stay behind food and close around 11 p.m.
Hey!
Because the demand was there.
And go to work at what time?
I go to work at 8. I'm at the office by 8.
By 8, okay.
So I'll get home around 12. Sleep by 1 a.m. Then by 4:35, you need to get up and then still do a couple of studies here and there. And you are heading out because by 7 a.m., if I'm after 7, it means I'll not get to the office on time. So by 7, I have to be out of the house.
Okay.
So you have to balance all between here and there. It's tiring, but if you want the betterment of the scene, you would have to make some sacrifices.
Okay.
And so the business, I don't work also on the days that we have evening services. Because you cannot take I will not stay out of church to come and cook for you to eat. That day you can do kivo gari. I'm not in the advert for anyone. But so the evenings that I have church service, I don't work.
Okay.
So from the official work, I close at 5, I'll head to church. In the evenings that I don't have service. I'm here to work.
Okay.
So I just balance between the two here and there. So for now, we are holding up small, still looking for somebody who I can actually trust to bring more money in. So
anyone who wants to go and handle food cuisine? These applications are open for that. So that is what basically you're doing now. So handling the sales and then marketing executive at your company. And then when you close in the evening, you
when
come
I close, and then as soon as I'm doing the sales and marketing work, I have another small thing, some small delivery thing be attached. Because I'm losing some days here.
Right.
Out of the 7 days, I'm doing 4.
4.
Because Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, I don't work.
Okay.
So I have to make up for that one. So another small delivery something be attached. So that, we want more money for ministry now. If we say we are going to, as we are here, and we are even going to, with the main kwechi, you acquire ministry or Canada, you never play no.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, sure. That's basically that's just it for now.
All right. Thank you so much. So I think we can be getting to the conclusive part of everything. So I think we are going to have, let's say, the conclusive part of it, and then we can take in some things. So wow, interesting. It's working. All right. Please, are we still together? Yes. So I think this is going to be my last question, and then we can take that in. Okay. All right. So Mrs. Appiah said something very, very profound, which I think it's quite, it's quite like a major concern. Where she was talking about the shop being put on hold for like 2 years because of other things and stuff like that. And then she said that if she had also been able to work on the shop earlier, she would have also been able to make much to have been able to get those things that also took the money running very, very well. And I think over here we have that major concern. We have things that we need to take care of. There are responsibilities to be taken care of. And we also need to build something. But the problem is that now, some way, somehow, the things that we have to build suffers because the responsibilities also take the money again. And there is a discipline to make sure that some way, somehow, the building must happen. But we cannot pause the thing right now and say, and then let's stop having service here. Canopy, and I say, so that we can build something. So the real problem is that this is the problem. How do you deal with that? I'm seeing something small by the side. It's like, as in, all those stuff. So we just want to know how, let's say, you've been able to do that. Some of the things that you possibly don't share in terms of some of the discipline, the real discipline you had to undertake when it comes to finances, to come to the point where now there's that level of formidability to be able to even do some of the things we do now at that scale. So that is how you want to help us so that we can take the questions.
Okay. So thank you, sir, for the opportunity. So when it comes to that, I'll try to paraphrase again.
Yes.
You need to prepare for success before you actually get to it, right?
Okay.
And some of these things, before I came to like the stage, I told I was doing like a lot of like reading and studying and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, purposeful study.
Purposeful study.
Some people say they read and then they just read novels and stuff like that. Right?
Okay.
That is not the kind of reading I'm talking. I'm talking about back to like real finance books.
Okay.
Like, I've never done an MBA course before, but I've read about 3 different MBA as in caliber kind of books.
Okay.
So, in terms of different in terms of marketing, in terms of development, goal setting,
yes,
and stuff like that. Now, fine. Now, this thing I know we are spiritual people. It might look like they are worldly things, but you see, when you're going to farm, you take cutlass, right?
Okay.
So these are things that are needed,
all right,
for your day to day in that field and that sphere.
Okay.
Just imagine you don't have a plan. Right now, some things like when I got into forex, to some degree, someone might feel like it's like a failure, right?
Yes.
But then Forex taught me like a lot of things. Like it really opened my, like, let me say like my mind, like to a whole lot of things, right? In terms of, before you trade, you need to have a trading plan. You need to have a trading strategy.
Okay.
You don't just get into the market. Certain things have to show first. You have to recognize some patterns. And after that, you have to record everything you do. You have to review on a weekly basis.
Okay.
Right. So all these things are disciplines
Right.
that, as in, I learned from that. Right. So now, when you put, so let's example, when I get to, let's say, Blue Space, and they put me in charge of some stuff, there's no I'll be working and I'll not take records.
Okay.
So like, hey, send us a report of everything that's going. I got that already. Like, you know, I'm not now. Hey, report.
I think this sound.
Right. Right. So now there's someone who, quote unquote, foolishly say it's church that is making me unproductive at work. It's not church. My brother, my sister, it's not church. It's you. Right. And there is this one maxim in a business where they say that you should work harder on yourself than you work on your job.
Oh.
Right.
Please, we didn't hear the whenever you say maxim, my mind goes to the toothpaste too. The maxim toothpaste. So please, what did you say? I think we want to get that again.
Right. That
you should work harder on yourself than you work on your job.
Right. Because I think we all, as in ministry, understand that all you can do is all you can do, unless something spiritual happen, or a revelation, or an impartation, or a word, or a light comes to you. That's all you can do. Listen, let's say you're in a cell, you have 3 people. That is what you can do. If no matter what you do, it is 3. Unless you get a revelation, hence a laid on you, or there's a training program or something that moves you to a different realm.
Okay.
So when you're doing something, you are going about work. It means that there's something you don't yet know.
You don't yet
know.
know.
So as you ought to be reading, you ought to be learning, right? You ought to be improving, right? And so that now will begin to show in the work you're doing, and in the quality of work you do, and how you're able to deliver well at almost every point in time, right? And even in terms of, not everyone would, let's say example, right? I don't think even every university graduate can be able to, you are offered an opportunity, a job, and then you're like, no, this amount, I want higher amount. How do you even write a mail?
How do you even write them?
Right, because you can write a mail and they'll be like, see, never step here again. Right? So you need to know what you're and then be able to write. Now, prior to that, I've got like, let's say, real content and stuff like that. In terms of, I know there are like YouTube influencers like Dan Locke and stuff. They talk about how you can be able to buy a business with nothing, how you can be able to negotiate as in press stuff. So this knowledge and stuff are things that was I was saying, I'm serious, I was not kidding. You can't pay me. Like the level of value I had as at that time. But then, of course, it was not the marketplace that was being recognized.
Okay.
That could recognize it, right? So that was a problem. So now, when it comes to you being able to arrange things. Now you see,
I like the word arrange things.
So I talk about the fact that I'm interested in finance, right?
Yes.
Now, when I'm interested in finance, you definitely read Forbes, right? Forbes magazine, right? And then a couple of others. While you are it, you get to know the richest people in the world, the industries that are involved.
Someone knows only by Twitter.
Oh no, you have to really get like the real juice, right?
Okay.
So, and then get in there. So while at it, you get to know them, companies and stuff. So I happen to like a lot of companies, a lot of brands, right?
Wow.
One I was having a discussion by Saturday. He was like, so what kind of shoe do you want? Like, you were like, I want Belluti. He was like,
you want what?
Belluti. And he was like, what?
Belluti.
I'm like, yeah, is that but why haven't you ever? What I said, no, it's because of current phase of ministry and the things you're doing. So I can't afford to buy Belluti now.
Okay.
So that's why I don't mention them. I know them, but it's just there's no time. There's a timing to them, right?
Okay.
So imagine your salary is increased. You don't start increasing your spending.
All right.
That's so default. That's a lot of people do. Right, by default. Your salary increases, then they start, increasing their spending and stuff. So if you see the person going to these places, they no longer eat at these places, they start wearing this kind of things, they start doing this, and that's someone who is visionless, right? And then, because you're not going anywhere. If you know you're going somewhere, you know that these things are seed. And so you need to save, you need to sow, so that by the time you get an open door or an opportunity, you are ready for it.
Okay.
Right? But then,
a lot of folks don't do that, right? And so doing those are some of, like, let's say, like, the key things. Now I think then I believe I'm answering, right? So
I will ask straight question. Then you give me straight answer.
Okay.
Now, so that let me start straight.
Okay.
So, one is that this is straight answer. One is that. So, were there times where you were given such that you could not save? Yes. No.
I was given that I could not save.
You were given such that you could not save.
Okay. Yes. So there was a time like that, right?
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Straightforward.
There was a time like that.
Were there times like that you were given such that you could not save?
Sure.
There were times like that.
Sure.
Okay. People of God, are there times where you were given such that you could not save? Oh, innocent people, you too. So Pastor Kevin, and then Mrs. Apia. You see, this thing is really on my heart.
Okay.
All right. I think I literally breathe it every single second, which is, there was a time I went to work on something. I think this product, and when I went there, the person who was working was talking about how when he was working here, and then the money that he was getting, he saved, and then he was able to go, and then later on he went to get this shop, and then he went to get these things and stuff like that. And I was listening, and I was very much interested. Because I think a lot, and I think through a lot. When I said not worry, but I've been trying to really understand how things work, and I feel like we need to pay attention to something here, which is, a lot of people don't have as much responsibility as we have, especially for us in this fraternity of the ministry. Some of them, when they get salary, some of them don't go to church at all.
Okay.
So they don't do anything like Lord referred to go to church on Sunday. They don't ask people to go to church. They don't do any giving. Absolutely. Are we here?
Yes.
So all the money that they get, literally all they take out of is what they will chop. They don't even pay anything when it comes to rent. All they spend is their food, and the food to kinky. So they really are able to save because they don't have any responsibility. Nobody's calling them for money and stuff like that. But you and I are in this place. Your money cannot lie idle like that. Immediately, your money, before it comes, it is coming to meet something that you are responsible for. And I think that at this age, we are really responsible for things that practically, they are not beyond us. But it's like, we have a lot of things that our money needs to take care of. And I feel like it's not able to make us save even what we get. And I think that is what I have seen when it comes to us who are actively responsible for things in church, as compared to people out there who basically don't do anything with their money except to just buy food and keep the rest. So we really want to settle this thing once and for all, because we don't want to end up doing this thing and go broke eventually or call it quits on that. I believe that there is wisdom available for us as well to be responsible and still be able to become financially independent. And I think that I have seen it in your faces before. I think me, I'm naturally, like when your car said, or doing it team. Some of us, we are very good people, we are very kind. Very, very kind, such that but let me tell you people the truth. All of you look at me. Hey, behind this camera. Sincerely, I have seen that, when it comes to Ms. Apia, for instance, hey, or you're very, very, very oh mom. As good as she is, she has that thing. Pastor Kevin forgets. She'll tell you he does not have money. He's lying. He has the money. He will tell you that, you know what? I am done spending. Budget ended. Whatever it is that you have gone to Boka, mean you'll be to your car. He and it was a quality I picked up, because I'm always looking at you and I'm saying no. But this one, if they call Junior, oh, say last cry back or kukuraba. I say, oh, but me GD is a minimum. I have given where they did not give some, because they had to save something. And I know that it was not for a bad motive, but there was a wisdom that you received because you wanted to build something which in turn was going to scale up the giving, was going to get things even to a higher level. And I feel like we are at that, that junction where we want to also have this wisdom, because we really want to. So please help us. What do we need to do? Because we really want to get this thing right. and not fail when it comes to our responsibility, and still be able to save and build wealth like we ought to. And that is my final question. That is my point. I want to hear how you can help us on this matter. Please tell us this.
So I think the questions are in different categories though. So I'll try to answer some, and then if I miss some, maybe you can let me know, and then I'll.
Please collect the mic, and when he says, say something to you. We can wrap it up together.
Yeah.
So at the point you can cut it, and then you make an input.
All right. So interestingly, I think so I'm trying to find where I'll pick it up so I can get to the end quickly. You know, interestingly, I'm quite a giver, right? Yes. So I'm quite a giver now. So there was a time when, okay, let me use this one. So there was a time like when I went at first, when I went to Blue Space, I was receiving.
Please, are we together?
I think like if I'm not wrong, it might be, it's not exact, but it was not more than 500 cedis.
Whoa.
Right?
Okay.
Now, actually, around that time, I think I actually paid for, I think it was a camp holidays. Sometimes I could keep sometimes 300, 400, or even something like everything in military camps. Right?
Okay.
Because like before the thing, actually the faith was connected to before the thing came. So the thing was like an answered prayer.
The thing was an answered
And
prayer, so you have
before,
to.
So before it came, like it was already gone.
Okay.
So now that continued for like a while, right?
How long?
Well, like a long while. Like I think when I got to like the night down, the revenue became kind of consistent. Like, so that continued for about, I think between 1.5 to like 2, like 1.5 to 2 years. So now, by the grace of God, like things were happening, right?
Yeah.
My salary trajectory did not really go like normal people.
Normal,
yes,
okay.
Because the grace of God was involved, there's faith and stuff. So,
all
like,
right.
they didn't go like normal people. So let's go like that. The next time we are pum, like we are going up. And sometimes something happens. I deliver. I'm like, I'm boss.
Okay.
You know, you have to do something about the number.
Okay.
You have to do something about the numbers. You know, boss like, you're doing good work. Let's have a discussion after this goes through. Okay, sure. So, but then there was one day. It dawned on me.
All right.
Like, it dawned on me. Like, under Holy Spirit ministry, it's like witness. Like, you're not going to become rich going about things like this.
Whoa.
Right.
I think, I don't know if all of us, we've come to that point before.
So,
have you all come to that point before? Okay.
So, like, you're going to have to save. Now, prior to that, now, when we talk about savings, there are details to it, right? Allow me use this categorization, even though it's not like a general thing. There is a side to it where you are actually using faith, right? And I would say that's like the best, right? So let's say example, you are making, allow me use 800 cedis.
All right.
Right. Someone can say, I'm saving 5.
Saving 500 cedis.
I'm saving 500 cedis.
800 cedis, okay.
And then I'm going to live on 3.
I'm going to live on the 300 left. Okay.
Now that will mean you're going to use faith, right?
That person is using faith. Okay.
Faith, right, fine. So that's like that's after I've given you've paid your tithe, your partnership, right? So after you're done with those, that's it. But then so that's one level.
That's one category.
There is another level. Is that okay? I'm going to calculate all my main expenses and everything. Once I'm done, then the rest I'll put this aside, right? Okay, fine. And then there is, let's say, another level where the person's like, okay, fine. I'm setting this amount. I need to hit this amount of savings every month.
Okay.
Right. Every month I need to hit this amount of savings. So now the person now begins to work with the mind. Right?
Right.
Now your mind is a tool which you have to use in terms of like if you want to be rich. Right?
Okay.
So now okay, how do I hit this savings? So now when I was saying, okay, fine. What are my revenue streams? How am I getting this money?
Right.
Right. And then it keeps okay, fine. So if I do this and I do this and I add this and I divide by this, we hit this.
Okay.
Right. So that is also there. So there are different ways of going about it. So now you start saving. But then for me, it was so for my finances. It's like it's been in phases, right? It's been in phases. So there was a phase I think is it 50% of every money that comes to me goes to giving.
Goes to giving, all right.
Like it comes. If it is 20 this, 10 this. If it's like what I'm like when it comes like that.
Okay.
Right. In that time, the Lord was really trying me. Like he was really trying me. Because you know something like you are inside and you're expecting. Now I was at Tantra by then. Like Tantra was really stuff like I was really molded in Tantra.
Okay.
Like, you know, like when someone said Batman is a being, said I was molded in the dark. Like that was it.
Okay.
Like because that time like just like I was saying, I'll be studying and you get up, you just go prepare Indomie, like do just stuff like that.
Indomie
and that's because it was in the kitchen, because it was like just stuff. So the kitchen, I just prepare that, and then from there get back and then you're studying and stuff like that. You are not really deciding. You feel like eating what you don't feel. It's what is there that you eat. It's not your feeling you are working with over here, right? So that's around that phase. So that was it at that time, right? Then now when I go to a time now. Before there's a switch, I receive a witness of the Holy Spirit that no.
Okay.
Right. So now you can begin. So now we are going to actually now go by the normal this thing. You're going to give like
all right.
This amount you are going to spend and you're going to save this amount.
This amount.
That thing came as me saving, right?
Okay.
So I started until I started working. Now when I started working, the working coincided with a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
So like I didn't really pay attention to like the saving thing, because the thing was giving to this time, then now you are switching to now you are saving more to
that's
like
right.
going. But then when I started the business of like the schedule, going up and down, traveling here and there, back and forth, you know, and stuff, this income is going like that, like everything is an emergency, right? Everything is an emergency. Like so around that time, so I was ADC dawned on me. I was like, so I called the man of God. I'm like, man of God, the Holy Ghost is telling me today, showing me today, it's serious.
Okay.
And it was like a, there's some realization you come when you put your hands like, it's like what have I been doing all this while?
That's right.
But then actually, it's the Holy Spirit trying to move you to another season, right,
okay.
or to another phase.
All right.
So when that happened, I was like, yeah, actually, what the Holy Ghost will do is the exact thing.
What did he tell you?
You don't take money and give everything. Money doesn't come, you give everything. So over time, I went to and found out, sometimes some people give.
If we can do the KKK in the mic.
You know, sometimes people give everything. And actually, those who are lazy people, I'll explain.
At least explain right now.
Right. So let's say example. For you to multiply money, it's not easy. No, money coming to you salary is not. It's not. I go 9 to 5. At the end of the month, give me this number.
Yes.
I can just carry everything past that. Right. But then, okay. How can we turn 50% of this into something? What business is it?
Okay.
Where is the place? This thing. No. You have to speak in tongues. Holy Ghost, what is it?
Wow.
Right. So it's work. Like it is easier for me to just carry the money and then pastor, I've given me like I've done everything. No, you are lazy. Because it takes work to multiply. And the person actually doing that wants to be able to give more.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But then of course it's phases, right? That you have to go through. So that happens, and then so after finding out that I say, okay, fine, we're going to save now. Right. Okay. So now in order to save, there are things that you're going to have to hard on. Right.
It's things you're going to be hard on.
There are things that have to be hard on. It's what it is, right? Does the time I'm on camera, so I can't really say something. But there are times when things are switched up. You see, I'm still normal. Like one great man of God says something. He says that when you see someone living the life of a millionaire, he's been a millionaire since. So if you see him living like a millionaire, he's actually a billionaire now.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you see someone living like a billionaire, he's actually past like that level, right? So when you don't that's what I was saying initially. You don't start switching up your lifestyle because you started like making some income. No, it's that you actually have to now look, okay, how do I diversify and then multiply the money, right? Because literally, if you should understand that money comes to you through selling, right?
Okay.
So 9 to 5, you say, what do I sell? You sell your time. That is bad. You shouldn't sell your time. Like it's the worst kind of like transaction you can do. Selling your time for money. So it means that but then it happens to be the default mode for everyone.
Yes.
So now you have to now focus on being able to create a means whereby you don't have to sell your time.
Are we getting this part very well? Okay.
So you don't have to sell your time for money. So now you are into your real thing. Because trust you me, a 9 to 5, it's not really compatible with ministry over the long term.
Okay.
For some time you can do it, but if you want to be like you are a serious disciple, you can't. Like over time you can't. So while you are there, you should be planning your retirement age, when you be getting out your exit plan, where you be living and stuff. You should be working towards that, right?
Okay.
So that is it. And then money. So you sell. Money comes when you sell.
Okay.
Money multiplies when you trade.
Okay.
Right. That's when you invest. So it means that you have to get something you are investing or you're working at. And so that's how you actually get to invest. Now, just imagine you work in a company, right? You all go to work 9 to 5. Someone is being paid 10,000. Someone is being paid 5,000. Someone is being, why? It's the same time. You all have 24 hours. So it means that someone is bringing more value. So now the issue is now about value, not time.
Not time again.
Right?
Okay.
It's about value, not time. And so when you focus too much on time, that's what the problem is. You are caught in the rat race. You're working for your entire life.
Okay.
Right? You can't break out. But then when you have a focus, I want to get out of the rat race of work, because how our lives are designed, it's going to happen that if you don't take your time, you end up in the rat race.
Okay.
You complete school, you start making money.
Yes.
You start making money. Service, you don't have any money, right? You're broke. You don't have no money. And then degree, I mean, now you are given an actual, let's say, appointment letter. Fine. First cash coming. You've suffered for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You need to, you need to switch up. You need to switch it up. And then you started. Now, immediately you switch it up, people are watching.
Yeah.
It's not good, but that's what it is.
Okay.
There are times I've actually given money to people that the person's appearance and perfume was more than what I was using.
More than what you're using.
And I'm like, and the person still sees that I need to give, like,
you have to give more.
No, I'm the one working for the money. You think I need to give you the money, and you are like you are spending yours in ways that I actually can't comprehend.
Right.
Like,
please chip in. Please come in at this point for me. Come in on that. Let's know. Because you even saved to marry. You even married. When we were doing giving, she was marrying. But hot doing giving. I was looking for how much I made money. I was looking for money. She was using her money to go and marry. So please, we want to know.
So, like the man of God was saying, it's in phases. There was a time, once upon a time, as a man can missions.
Yes.
I was coming for missions. I had just been paid salary. I just ATM. We do everything. I mean,
yes.
Just that you can't close the account. We left like 50 Ghana inside. Put in the white envelope and it was in my bag. By the time we were leaving the camp, I had to call somebody to give me TNT.
They had to call someone to give you TNT to return home. Okay.
Sorry. I had to call somebody for TNT. We are going for summit and I'm carrying my entire savings because I know how these things work. Emergencies, you know. The fever. Bus there. Obom. Is it Obom? Obom bus. 6,000. The money is not rich. I say, enter my bag. Why is that? I go to Messi. By the time we were leaving that summit, that time pastor was around, so I just entered his pocket. So there was a time as that, and then there was another one where, like the man of God was saying, the Holy Spirit actually ministers to you that you have passed that phase of giving your all.
Okay.
Now it's time to save, to get more, to do more. If he was saying that it's a lazy approach, and 100% agree. You carry the thing and you are giving it out. You have peace of mind. Your man of God knows that you are receiving, say, 1,000 cedis. You took 1,000 cedis and brought it to him. Will he come back? No. Your man of God knows that you are receiving 1,000 here, and this business is bringing more. He will surely come back after the first giving. He will come back. Because he knows that there is another avenue where money is coming in. And that one you would have to use your head to get there. If you are giving everything you are receiving, it's not that I'm not a giver. Those here that knows me from the beginning knows that even if I'm chewing it and you are there, I don't mind bringing it out for you. But they got to a point where it shouldn't be so. Because there are some people who would also teach you that. They will teach you that you are the one sweating for the money, but I'm the one who I know how to spend the money. You just go and work for it. You would give somebody money and you go and meet what the person is eating. It's not that you can't eat that meal, but you are thinking, I've got fees to pay. I don't have children of my own, but they are thinking, this person is going to school next week. I need to go get Gary cornflakes and all that. I'm thinking, okay, this person would go to work. Salary ni nyamba. I would have to give the person TNT. I'm thinking this kid would need crayons. So by the time the salary is coming, I have budgeted for the people I'm going to give the money to. And now I give you the money and then I come in. mommy. So you watch, you observe. You know, people teach you. So you observe. It's not that I can't wear what you are wearing. I'm the one working for the money. I can enter any boutique and buy what I want to buy. I wanted to get a gift for Pastor one time. So I was around the mall.
She's talking about her husband.
Please. So I was around the mall. Then I saw a flying tie. And then with a price tag, 1,000 cedis. Okay. So I just watched the thing. I was like, so this tie that if I buy, when I take it home, will the tie wash itself? Will it iron itself? Over time, will it change color? So that like maybe I bought a red tie, maybe 1 month time I'll get it in a blue. So say that I know that at least the 1,000 cedis will bring me value. Now someone will say that this is a poor man talking. No. At this stage, no. That 1,000 cedis can do something at food cuisine. Once I put it into food cuisine, I'm going to get not 1,000 cedis. I'm going to get like 1,005. Right. So now I have a 500 cedis extra. Now I can just take that 500 cedis extra. Let's say I add and just put 200 cedis back. Now okay, I have 300 cedis for my 1,000 Ghana to spend. So I can go and get a gift that is worth 300 cedis. Okay. Without stressing my 1,000 Ghana cedis. Okay. And so you need to be disciplined for some of these things. You don't just get up and say, I want to eat KFC today. You are in KFC. Tomorrow, I want to eat Eddie's Pizza. You are in Eddie's Pizza. Meanwhile, your salary that is coming to you is like 800 Ghana cedis.
Hey, justice.
I'm not demeaning the salary, but it's how you are spending it. Okay, so why not get a 5 kg rice at home? You are lazy, you want to sleep and wake up at 6. Why not you wake up at 5:30? Put something small on fire. Get a small lunch bag. After you go to work with a backpack. So pack your lunch. So that KFC or that pizza you're going to eat for like 80 cedis has cooked at home. You have something to eat when you come back. And so that 80 cedis, you have spent it like a full day or 2 days. How much are you saving? So for now, at this growing stage, you need to starve some of these urges to be able to get more. If you eat the whole corn, which one will you plant? You will not get any. So starve some of these cravings. The Brazilian wigs can wait. Now you are buying 5,000, 7,000. There will be higher grades. My mom told me something when we were growing up. She said, listen, when I was growing up, silver. That time they called it silver. She mentioned an amount, so I don't remember. I didn't get the money to buy. But here two muko 1.5 no. Menye skato. And then as I see ebi aye ton 3,000. Meba menye skanto e. Omo pa omo fanko 5 billion. Ebe du one menye skato. So it doesn't matter what you want to wear now. The pizzas you want to eat. Hold on. That pizza money at your office, they go out to do airtime. Make a talk credit to a bunting. Or you are too big to sell that. Hey, now I have airtime. You want airtime? Any network, just hit me up. And you are taking your commission, no matter how small. That pizza money has started something. I make noise in my office that I cook. I noise it abroad that I cook. Who will buy? So now the office people place order with me some Fridays. I tell them, if you want food, I can give you Fridays. So maybe rice, I wake up at dawn. I cook the rice and take it to them. Because at the end of the day, I'm taking my something from it. I've noised it abroad so much. Somebody has a program upcoming and I have the contract. So yeah, you start something small. I started by selling sobolo in my office. And they were laughing at me. Now market a pa.
Market is sobolo.
I was like, well, it's not enough. I want more. So let's hold on to the cravings. There'll be better meals. These fast food joints, this restaurant, they always upgrade their menu because people get fed up with the menu. So they always upgrade. So the one you are enjoying today, hold on. There will be a nicer menu for you to enjoy next time. So for now, Sumansa.
You know, an interesting thing just came to mind. I think, so for a long time, I was not really spending, right? I was not really spending. So, and then, so last year, I decided for shaggy reasons, let me get something. So I felt I really needed a smartwatch. Okay. So I went and then got, initially I just wanted to get something, like, I kind of needed a smartwatch though. But then I just wanted something big, so I started with the Fit, and then I was like, Fit, no, I said bracelet, no, I want a real watch. Okay. So then I got, I think watch 4. I was like, no, watch 4. The battery, you charge it 1 day, it's gone. Like, no, please. So then 5 Pro. So 5, they said if you want more battery, then 5 Pro. Okay. Why not? I got the money, right? So I got it. Like, cool. I was like 5 Pro. So got it. I got a good deal, so I got it. Now, this amount is more than averagely like you went advance like a year, right? Okay. So switch also, and then there was a point in my life. I think I was in North Region by then. It felt like, I think the first night I was like, it's like without the watch I can't exist again. Like it's just like my productivity will come to a halt. Like I need a watch. Like, you know, see, so what something happens, I'll be blamed. See, if I had a watch, I would have just done this. Like I said, I'm not even able to keep track of my taste because I don't have the watch. Like if I had a watch, like if it feels like without it, like your life has come to a halt. Like stand still. And it makes too much sense to you. Like you're able to convince yourself now. Salespeople understand something that if you want to sell something to someone, you have to tap to the person's emotions first, right? Because you actually emotionally buy the thing. There is logic to defend it, right? Yeah, that's what happens. Anyone who is really good at sales knows this. Exactly. So emotionally, once you get to that point emotionally, let's say you convince yourself, you'll be telling yourself things like, so when I got the watch, I've been waiting to watch for a while. I got to a point like, this year I was like, why did I really buy that watch again? I was wondering. And then I felt like, you know, I've been working for like a long while. I've not really gotten something like, I'll be like, okay, so this is for like all the 12 and the time. But then this year, that's nonsense. Like, we need to save. Like, we need to save a lot. So this one, just switch it up and then.
Let me have the first straight bullet question. Okay, please. The extra mics, they are very down also. Let me have the first straight bullet question, sorry.
So while you're preparing for the question, right, there's something I wanted to mention before Pastor Favor came in, and it's that, you know, money comes to you when you sell, right? Note this down carefully. Now, money leaves you when you spend. So the money will come to you when you sell. By selling your time for money, you are employed 9 to 5, right? Or you are in a business, you're selling it. So when you sell, money comes. Fine. Money leaves when you spend. Right? You spend, now money begins to leave you. But then the only time money multiplies is when you invest. Right? So you're investing. You're trying to buy. When you buy something at a lower price and sell at a higher price, it's a form of us in trading, money comes. So, and then, but then the way you really lock down the money is like, let's say, different investments.
Okay.
Vehicles, right? One of my vehicles is like different investment types. And we have different types of investments. We have short-term investments, we have medium-term investment, and we have like long-term investments, right? So that's how you really like get to multiply the money, right? So that's just asking something. Maybe, I don't know, hopefully maybe
maybe somebody may need it. All right, sure. Can we have the first question?
Thank you, sir. So my question for Pastor Kelvin, I think I can ask one or.
Okay, let me have it, please, because of the time. So I can just. Oh. I'm sorry, I have to randomly choose.
I'm not asking.
Is it your question?
Yeah, these are my questions.
All these tall list of questions.
I'm not.
All right. I thought you were asking people's questions, so it's your question. All right.
So I'm going to ask one each.
No, one. Only one. Yeah, so choose one. You can't choose one. Oh. Just two. You have to choose one. You can go and ask them after here, so there's no problem. I mean,
Okay. So let me just ask the first one, and I think this could be everybody's question. So my question is, during the times you were making the switches, not even exactly that, but then you mentioned how this opportunity comes and then like, oh, okay, let's go. This one comes, let's go. How were you able to free yourself from the existing thing you were doing to jump on another? Were you not feeling like what I started is going to suffer? And how were you basically just opening up to opportunities like that? And yeah, that's it.
The second, please, quickly. All right, Prissy. Microphone. Okay. I'll remind you then.
Okay.
I'll help you with that. Don't ask Pastor Kelvin, ask Mrs. Apia. But don't worry, I'm just kidding. It's a general question, all right? Let's have it.
For both of them. So I think one thing I picked from what they were both talking about when you asked the question about how we are able to decipher between where our monies are going. I mean, we've got responsibilities and all of that. Yeah. Pastor Kelvin mentioned that the Holy Spirit he had a thing with the Holy Spirit. Yeah. And then I also got from Lady Favor that, these things are in phases, right? You're in a certain phase right now, but then you can grow. So I want to know, are we supposed to wait till we get to that phase before we decide that, okay, I'm going to, maybe I have a responsibility at church, but I may not be able to fulfill that responsibility. Yeah. So should I go through that phase where I'm always giving all of my money until I get to that phase, or I should wait and maybe have that conversation with the Holy Spirit before, Right.
So I think you would have to quickly answer that one and explain the Holy Spirit moment.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me take from the side. All right. So before I started the 50% thing, right?
Yeah.
That one was not really like the Holy Spirit, the first one.
That's right.
So now, before then, prior to that, I had when I was in school, there was I think one message from Achimanase. He spoke about the fact that there was one person, like people trust like God. I think Danclad or Achimanase.
Okay.
So he spoke about the fact that some trust everything, like, and then he was giving a certain amount, like on a monthly basis. He called it his tithes, right? So he was like, at a certain time, God was like, give me, I think I'll miss the numbers, right? But I think it was like, give me like 40, right? Then later he comes, now give me 60. I said, Lord, at least you are doing for less money than 40, 60. One time, give me 70. Right, you give it. He said, "God, at least with the 60, I'm able to run around town like a big boy. I'm able to handle things. Well, let's maintain it like that, Give me this. Right. But then he made a profound statement that later on he came to find out that sometimes he was disobeying. So I remember it's Apostle Danclad. So he was disobeying, but then he realized that actually it was just disobedience, because whenever God had told him that, there was always provision at the end. So it was more about he trusting God and believing God, right? Okay. So that is one. So you can get these things. It could be from a message, and the things you can get, it bends in your heart. Like that's it. That's the time, right? That is one. Another is, let's say, so now down the line I'd left GPS stuff. Then that mess came to me and stuff. So I knew, because at that time things were bad. Things were bad, bad. However you can think about bad. I was not even sleeping on a mattress then, so you can just imagine. Whoa. Things were that bad. Whoa. So like bad. So we needed to get out of that place as soon as possible. So first thing, that thing came, and then we started from there. So then over and over. Right. Now over time, sometimes too, if you've not yet heard anything from the Holy Spirit, if you read a book, you get, this is wisdom packaged, right? So you learn. Now, when you get something like that, you are a Christian, so you can spend time to pray about it. And that's okay, this, and then you know the way out. Okay. Right? It will quicken to you, and then you go about it. Right. Now, those ones, let's say being said. So it's not always every time. Now, let me blow your mind. There are times the Holy Spirit will come, there are times that it will quicken your heart. You know that it is time for you to empty the account. Empty the account, that's yes, right. And there's a time that comes that you know that, no, empty the account. Yes. No saving, don't touch, go and bring everything. Everything. Yes, go and bring everything. And that happened during, how was it called? Amok Summit at Festus. Go and clear the account. Okay. Right. So that then right. there are also times that now, clearing the account is not something happening every day, because if you always clear the account, there will not be anything in the account for you to go and clear, right? So it's not like an everyday thing, but then there are times. So there are times you are being instructed on what to save. There are times you are being instructed to clear the account. There are times you are being told, from this time going, we're on a saving plan. When the money comes, saving, then other things, this is where we are, so make sure you save. And then there are things that will come to you that looks like emergencies, everything. There are times that I've switched up to date. My mom doesn't even know my salary. No. She has no idea. She knows I'm trying my possible best. I'm not so. Some people, their parents know that they are doing well. I know. But they're so. Because okay, sorry. So, because interestingly, right? If you don't take your time, now there are different homes, different families, and stuff. It's not for everyone, right? But then you have to be in a certain position to help the family and a lot of people. When you start now, the future will eventually come, but then you might not be prepared for it. Now, once you have shown yourself as this person, it means they expected you some way, somehow, to have thought about it, that this time was going to come, you should have done something, right? So you have to be smart and know, okay, fine. At this point in time, I'm going to see to it that I hold them small. I don't make them feel too hard. Then from there, I can be able to put in so that when they really need, there's no one, there is nothing, then come true. So to date, sometimes, back then, there are things that my mom, even I don't, right? I don't. So, but then something will come up big, I'm we'll see what we do about it. Yeah, because it's already lying there, so we'll see what we do about it. So, and then it's that. Sometimes people are saying, people, me. Never. It's not me, right? So that's it. Now I'm doing that because there's going to be a time that I have to be in a position to help a lot, and so if I spend it now, I'll not be able to do it when that time comes. And when you give some people the opportunity, not even your parents, anyone, family, extended, and they feel like you got the door, you are in trouble. Yeah. You are in trouble. Yeah. and no one, and you know, there's this. It's like, have you ever seen the, like crabs in a bowl? Yeah.
You know, I think it's not even just your family. I think sometimes it even has to do even in your church.
Okay.
Yeah, sincerely, you know, I think it's also it's a very important thing that you had to raise, because let me talk from the position of even being a pastor. You know, there are points where our expectations of people is actually based on their performance, and there are times where, because of what I have seen the person do in several occasions, sincerely, I would always want to come to a person to make demands, although I will not do. But then that's different. I think it's because I intentionally don't want to do that. And I feel like it's one of the things that some people don't know how to handle it. So they put themselves up for that particular, situation where they become depleted with time. So it's a very, very, very sensitive thing that you mentioned when it comes to you being able to know how to protect yourself whenever you are building something, or else you would have people come and then the thing that you are trying to protect will be depleted. And that is a very, very important thing. And I think secondly, are we all here? One thing that you should also, practice is this. Sometimes when something needs to be taken care of, or a request has been made, try not to do it ASAP. Try not to take care of it right away. You realize that with time, the person will figure it out. Recently something very funny happened. Somebody wanted me to, work on something urgently for, like someone, I need this particular amount of stuff. Like, we were so urgent and I felt pressure. I said, that week too, I was on an exercise called No Pressure. I had bounced like two people or three people already. So the third person, someone was quite family. So family, I felt like I need to do something. But I was like, live there. Some way, somehow, this person will find an option. And you know what happened eventually? The person was like, I think it's, if you don't have it, it's fine. Send next week mobile fee. Next week you can look at that. So I'm like, and I was going to force my way out to try and find externally to help. But the person like, well, although it was urgent, but after all, it's not really that urgent. It can still be dealt with. And that was a big lesson for me, that sometimes sincerely, you can find yourself wanting to do something for a person, but truth is, don't be carried away. Sometimes it's just, don't be carried away. It can be so emotional. You can feel so bad for not helping, but trust me, they will not die. They will not die. Give me, trust me, say, I beg you.
The interesting thing is that God is our Father, right? All of us are Father. I'm not your father. So we all should go and cry.
We all should go and cry too.
So when someone begins, listen. If you don't do it, the person will survive to the next day. Some way, somehow, they'll survive. So it has to be like, there has to be a certain level of prioritization, like a scale of preference, defining. Okay,
that's right.
This, and we ain't doing this, and that kind of flow.
For Pastor Samantha's question, I think you have to answer her personally. But I think for it's a conversation. It's not a question. That's why I'm trying to avoid it. So let's have another question, please. I think the time is overly up, so we need to be wrapping up. So let's have a question quickly.
So interestingly, right? Just to throw a certain light so that no one goes here in a certain limbo, right? With a letter of Pastor Sam's question, which has to do with I told you about the fact that when I switched that there were times when I was in the startup space, right? One startup, when a funding opportunity will come or a competition will come and stuff, I want to apply. The Holy Ghost says, no, not that place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because the time I go frustrated. Like, there's money. We are working for money. Because startups, you are not paid a salary. When you pitch, you get into the competition, there's money, right? You win, there is money. You go about, there's money. Like, you have to go and get the money. Not this one.
Wow.
Another one coming up about, okay, should I apply? Yeah, not this one.
Okay.
And now, interestingly, there's something I want to highlight here. It so happens that where I am right now, if some of the things that should have gone through had gone through in the past, I don't know if I would still be in church by now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because anyone who knows about startups, like a real startup, I'm not talking about someone who is self-employed on Facebook, you know, entrepreneur on Facebook,
On WhatsApp.
a real startup person. You know that when you are building a company or you are building a startup, like it's like your baby.
Yes.
Like you are into the thing. You don't want the thing to fail.
Yes.
You understand? So whatever length you have to go, that's when I become shaking when you are tempted to now skip service for or skip like meetings for because you want to put in like you want to put was like the more you put in the more you might end up in that problem. So but then having been obedient to some of these instructions and leadings as you don't go, hold on, wait. Okay, this one. Not this. Right?
Yeah.
Wait, hold. What has happened is interestingly, why I find myself like it's a perfect work of grace.
Okay.
Like why I am like
no
if I sat down and I took a pen and I couldn't have drawn this thing.
All right.
Because the shadow I ran, if I show it to you, you don't know what this is not a one-person shadow.
I think when we close, you do closing with that
like,
one.
You know, it's
you will
not,
have to be
so
familiar
it has
with
to
that.
like one person can't run it.
Run
so
that.
it has to be the perfect work of grace. One person you can't sit down and just draw it down like it will not add up.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I'll have that in mind. All right. So please, there was a question coming up from here. Yes. I can hear you, but I think the microphone cannot hear you, so it's fine.
My first thing has got to do with communicating value. So being in a place where I believe you mentioned being proud.
Yes.
So being in a place where you are able to show everybody that okay, you can do this, you can get these things done even within this particular period. And you know we also want to we are excellent people, so everything that we want to do it to the ultimate.
Right.
So getting to a place where you know that okay, I am valuable in this regard, but that would mean that you need to compromise to get something done, or you need to sacrifice something to ensure that this thing goes the way you want it. And that is more like the view given to others. So coming to a place where you decide that okay, I think I need to step back a bit. I need to make a little time or make room for these things that I didn't do previously. And you now want to maybe make time for family, make time for your social life. And it's more like you are reducing the things that you needed to do, but you are not defaulting necessarily. But possibly you are not overdoing like you were doing.
You are doing.
My particular question is, how do you get to communicate value without compromising or going beyond unnecessarily, without being seen as like dropping your performance or whatever you wanted to do?
All right. All right. Please don't answer it yet. All right. Next question. I want easy question. Easy question. Yes. Easy question. Some questions when you start, because the government has to explain a lot of charts for you, especially that question. It's a personal question. Answer the question. Tell the person to give personal examples. I think you have to shout. The microphone. Don't mind it.
Were they giving you all that you wanted? And also the ones you were running to, were they promising?
Yeah.
Did you have to leave the current ones because we were not so much good in that current at that time?
Okay.
And then go for the promising one, even though maybe you didn't do that good at that time. So my easy one.
Yes. Another question, please.
All right. I think I have to answer this one.
This one. I want another question, please.
Okay.
From here. Another question. Why are you even throwing the microphone around? Nothing is coming inside. So how you been sharing? Yes, from here. Any question? Any question here? Any question here? All right. Any question here? No question here. No question here. No question here. All right. So if there's no question here, I think she has a question there. She has. Okay. So so the questions that have been asked, you know, I don't know. I think hold on with the questions. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
The ladies' questions. Hold on for me.
Okay.
Just a minute. So hold on for me. Let's settle this. So let's conclude with this. Sincerely, let's conclude with this. we are not seeing opportunities. Sincerely, help us find opportunities. And I want you to talk for everybody. Everybody, especially including people, let's say, it's not as tra as it is for some people. Some people feel like, let's say, like how you're talking about after work, you come and you go and run your store and stuff like that. People feel like the kind of work I do, I'll die. There's somebody at the back there that when the person's coming for church, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. She wants to die already from the work that she went to do. I don't know whether they were beating her or something like that, Now we have people that feel like, I don't know, but I think there's nothing more I can do apart from what I'm doing. My work is demanding, my work is this, so I can't do anything more again. And then, Pastor Kevin, there are people that sincerely are very, let's say, caught up in a particular space. Because you're talking about your shadows, and then they are very interesting. How do you find yourself working in all these different, or let me say, working on different things all together like that? I feel like it has all got to do with opportunities and taking them. Because one thing that sincerely I'm taking from everything you've said so far, all right? And please, let's do this together, is the fact that you necessarily did not find even most of the things that you're working on for currently. You didn't go after them. Some wisdom is like they met you. Some wisdom is like you found yourself there and you were prepared for it and you took it up. And eventually it opened you up to a lot more. I think that even the other roles also came from this role that you are handling. And then there are many other things that you are handling also. They are all coming from that same thing. So I believe it has gotten to do with a certain positioning that then brought you to that place where now these opportunities are interconnected. And I feel like some of us are in spaces like that, where we are in these places where there are opportunities that are interconnected. We could find ourselves linking up to some things like that. But it appears like they are not around. There are no opportunities. Like right now, the whole of Ghana, she knew how to and things like that. But I think you guys have something to tell us when it comes to opportunities. Maybe a bit maton in category, maybe a bit maton donuts or something. Because and yes, a lot of young people are craving. I cannot start like Pizza Man, and then they all talk about all of these people. I cannot do that one. I need capital and all of those stuff. These are people that these are their terrain. How do you help us from our level know that find the next opportunity that will catapult us to the space that you found yourself, that now these things are coming by themselves with the thing opening up and stuff? I don't know if you get a question. So that is basically what I think conclusively I want to get us to settle on that matter right away. How do I add more businesses? Because I feel like I can't. I'm working in a place where I can't add more businesses. Okay, I'm doing this. How do I add more? How do I find this? And how do I find that? So that's our question. Yes. Let me start with this up here. Talk for the employed people. That's, we don't know, all the petty. Construction work, bravo. What do you have about that?
Thank you, sir. So, if we say there are no opportunities, that's not entirely true. It depends on what you are looking for. The fact that you are not seeing what you think you are looking for does not mean there are no opportunities. There are opportunities everywhere. We are humans, and for as long as we are humans, there are problems everywhere that needs to be solved. So it's left to us to find it and solve it. Okay, I'm a nurse. Precisely what else can I do? So that space you are in, I see something interesting on Lady Akosia Mercy's status these days a lot. Whether we have posted or we have not posted, we are open. If you want scraps to buy, come to me. I'm selling glucometer. So if a dietitian wants to tell somebody, okay, I need you to go get a glucometer from this pharmacy. Oh, why is Nessa Akosia? See this lady, she has glucometer. It's a problem and she's solving it. Okay, the work I do, I will not see a problem to solve. Let your money do the talking. No, she doesn't need to have it in the house. They sell it on the market. So I pay before I deliver. I take your money, I'm going to buy. I take my share, I bring you your goods. I don't need to have it in my house.
You know, some people actually graphic designers, they have not even touched pad before. Yes, they have correct branding for graphic design, yet they don't design one thing. When they get a work, they're going to give to a designer.
Yes.
And then they collect the money and come and pay. Just like how Pastor Kevin is here, how he has not.
He's talking about coding and.
But he's selling products.
Yes.
Software products, having written code. You know, so.
So, is if you're like Pastor Kelvin's case, all the computer and be seeing him so on your code here, Pastor Wise, Pastor Michael Muya, he will not sit up. But he brings the brain. I don't have the skill of the coding, but I've found a problem. I sell it to you. So, okay, so this is what is co-tenant. I'm seeing this on there. Okay, you can build. I have found a problem. I have a solution. Build it. I'm your partner. I brought the idea. And we move. If you are not finding such in your space, let your money do the talking. Enter the banks. There are so many opportunities there. Let your money. You don't need. So I found out that you don't even need like huge amounts like 10,000 or 15,000 to invest. Okay. To buy treasure bills and these bonds and these shares. You don't need that much. Because they start like a share like let's say 50 pesos per share. And they are saying that the minimum share you can, somebody has to acquire is like let's say 100 shares. You can't get below 100. 50 pesos by 100. Even though the money, the dividend you are going to get at the end of the day is small. But you know that this money is working for me. Now, if it's a treasure bill I want to get, okay, I'm doing a 3 months. After, when it matures, I'm not going to spend the interest I'm getting. I add it to the first capital, I reinvest. And by the time you realize you are somewhere, your money is working for you. So it has to start small, no matter how small. You shouldn't wait for, I want to get 20,000, and you know that the salary you are receiving, if you don't even touch it, by the end of the year, you will not get 20,000.
A very sensitive one. In your deliveries that you've been doing with the market and stuff, I've done in times where you have had, sounds on camera, so be careful, extra business with some of the clients, which is not in the field of your company.
So this is a couple of years ago when we're still in the struggling. It's not like we are very comfortable now, but still in the struggling stages. So I don't work on Saturdays for my company. I don't work on Saturdays. And then I found out that my customers need some things, and that particular product they need, where they will get it is far, and it's stressful. Okay, I don't work on Saturdays. This one is not a crime. I'm not using your time to do this one. I don't work on Saturdays. So I took it upon myself. Saturdays. So I had a rapport with the person who was in charge of the thing. I said, boss, you know me. I do business with you all the time. So use my credibility. Give me the goods. Give me a week, I'll bring back your money. So when you meet me, they used to call me, hey, Agbabulushi. My customers nicknamed me like that. Agbabulushi Kayayo. So when you meet me on Saturdays, I'm not all the office dressing. No, it's a different ball game. So I'll go collect these goods and go and distribute to the customers. And I give them these 2 days, I'm coming for my money. So I do all the collection, take the money back to the man. I get that's actually how I bought my first refrigerator. From my Saturday, my salary, I didn't use my salary to do it. So I wanted to get something significant with what I was earning. No, I used my credibility. I used my credibility to start. I didn't start with money.
Please, Pastor Calvin, please, you tell us the spaces. Let's start from this. The opportunities. Even where do we start from? From where you work, from where you live. I believe there are 1,001 opportunities, but I think some people are looking for some incredible stories to solve. They want to solve a very incredible situation and stuff like that. And I think it has been impeding a lot of things. So just bring our mind to the fact that there are billions and even let's even start with thousands of cities around us that we can do. And I think one of the stories that has geared this thing is the fact that I was telling them that when Elisha came to the woman and said, you know what, you are broken, then your husband left some debts and then blah 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 blah. Go to your neighbors, get some empty jars, borrow their vessels and bring it. Then let me do some accounting for you. And the truth of the matter is that he had to go to the neighbors. So it's like the neighbors all this while had the jars that will lead to her prosperity. Like just the next door neighbor had the empty jar which she was going to need for the man of God to prophesy or to cause a miracle to happen. So it looks like our next door neighbor may really have our venue partnership that we need to give this Sunday. But how do we sell that thing to him to collect that particular money? And we just want an elevation on that particular thing. Yes. And yes, I tell you, that video better now because you're on BBR. Next in your business registration. As one name GRA officer. But you know, I know somebody who works there, and I think these days is crazy. Sometimes the person that you are doing the business registration from, or they come be honest or the commandos, honest to come be honest to come be 7 people and they registration amount. But eventually, will be actually there. You know, and it's interesting. So please, let's see how we can familiarize ourselves with some of these opportunities that we are closing up on.
Okay. So I wrote a few things down.
Okay.
I'd like to thank you again for the opportunity to come here. I think when I was in school back then, you know, I didn't know like Jack, right, about making money or anything like that. So I think one time I was in the room and then I prayed. I was like, Lord, if you teach me these things, I'll actually make sure I teach others how to like make money, really. So. Right. I think that's how the whole Christianity thing came about. That's for this discussion. But then, a few things to take note of. How many of you here have heard of YC? YC.
Please say it again.
YC. How many of you have heard of Y
YC?
Combinator? Y Combinator, you're in tech, okay. No. All right, so Y Combinator is, it's like a startup, it's called a startup like incubator, right?
Okay.
But then it's like a school where entrepreneurs are trained. So let's say you have an idea, you have a product, and so you're taken to training, how to build, how to market, and ideation stage and all of that. And you know, so that place is literally like an ideation factory, like where ideas are built to become big companies. Right. So the big companies like Stripe, Airbnb, all of them, they came through like Y Combinator. Now, when you go there, they tell you, don't try looking for like like you're trying to build a space rocket or something. Like scratch your own itch, which is what are the things that you really can't live without. Okay. Right? Or you really need help with. Yeah. That is one. Okay. So for instance, if you notice, when I was in school, when I was in school, I was part of those who need accommodation thing. Okay. Right. You also needed accommodation. I also needed accommodation because it was a problem for all of us. Because at UPSC the hostels are not me. So the prices are just going up and up. So if you can get someone you can share with, because sometimes you want someone you can share with. It says that the timing, I have my money, you don't have your money, or maybe the time you have the money, I don't know who has the money. The person maybe is living on another side of campus, and the person not in my core, like he's not like a course person I can relate to it, or even around. So I wouldn't know who has that money. But then that is like a medium whereby we can be able to connect, right? So that is one. And then when you pay attention to these salient things, and for people, you begin to identify like basic things. Okay. But you see, after you do that or you find out these things, you don't just run with them. All right. So in one of the startup things, like they have one of the tools they use known as the 5 whys. It's also in MBA courses. So you find out that when there is a problem, you ask why. Okay. There's a problem for students to get accommodation, affordable accommodation on campus. Okay. Why? Maybe because the hostel prices are going up and they are private students, right? Okay. Why is it that the prices, okay, so why are there, let me see, So you have to answer that question based on the first question, which is okay. One is where prices are always going up. Why are prices always going up? Because there are more students than the hostels available. That's why the people can just check out the rent, because other people will pay.
They'll pay,
so
right.
that's it, right? Okay. So because some students are willing to pay, so it means that okay. So why are students willing to pay, right, for these accommodations? Because for these hostels, because these hostels are closer to campus.
Okay.
Okay. So why are these hostels close to campus? It's because because they know that when they are close to campus, they can charge almost any price, and the students will not relate.
Okay.
Right. So you have begun with a problem, but you have broken it down. Right. So you've seen different aspects of the problem. So now it's okay, fine. So now to create a solution, you've seen, okay, fine. This is where the problem originates from. So we have to go to the source. Okay, fine. So it means on this campus, there are private students here. They can be, right? India is almost like a private university. Okay, so there is money. So money is not really the problem.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So, but why is that they keep paying for that one? It's because those ones are closer.
Okay.
So that means it's not really about the hostel. It's about the proximity to campus. Okay, so if that's the case, okay, fine. How can we find, so now the issue is what can we find, or where can we find something that someone can stay in that is close to campus?
Okay.
Right? And then charge less. So in that case, okay. The apartments around campus that no one stays in.
All right.
But why doesn't anyone go for them? Because they can pay for the rent advance single-handedly.
Okay.
Okay. So if we can get like, how many rooms are we talking about? How many people can we get in there so that the overhead cost can be managed? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we do that. And then how can we get these people who are living at different sides of campus to know about this particular place available?
Okay.
Right. And then we get, so then from there you're able to come up with a much more better list. But then this is where the Christian comes in. At the inception, which is the problem. The whole problem to work on. Because there are some people, they work on some problems. You are never going to be a millionaire. Trust me. Till the kingdom come. Like, you know. So one of the reasons, let's say, with a quote and others, I knew, like, smartly, okay, fine. Looking at it, and then how it was going. And the things that we work on, it was a very difficult problem to solve.
Right.
Now, so one time I was having the discussion, so why don't you work on a much more simpler problem? So when she was, she was in the US, her name is Tessa, so, Netherlands. And then we were having a conversation. So why don't you work on something much more simpler? Because this project, it's good, right, and stuff. But then you're going to go through it because, like, in the market, the way your people, listen, if they are started Uber, excuse me to say Ghana or Africa, it won't go anywhere.
Okay.
You have no idea how people. But you see, because of the, so when you're building something, you have to know the people you are building for and all of that and stuff. So you don't just. Now, interesting, I find out that the idea I'm struggling with down here, before then, I go online, so that's one thing they teach in startup school. Go and find out other people that have that idea.
Okay.
That's something very key you should take note of. Sometimes you come up with a prayer like, Eureka moment. I'm the only one who has this idea. No one has it. You are lying. Go online and check. Right. So I found out there's Airbnb. They are doing this. They've been doing this thing since.
That's right.
Right. I'm like, oh, okay. So what happens is that now you're able to trade ideas. So you find out how this overcome some of their problems and stuff like that, and then you find a smart way to go around. So you don't have to like reinvent the wheel. Right. So these are some of the things like to consider when you're going about like what you work on and stuff. Now, more importantly, you are a Christian, you have the Holy Spirit, so when you pray, the Holy Spirit let you know, okay, this thing, or no, not this one.
Okay.
I'm in tech, I've seen so many opportunities, so many things that I feel like, this thing I can solve it like in a jiffy, or we just get this and boom, 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 like we are going. And you say, nah, you ain't going there. No,
okay,
you are not going there, right? And then you're like, you find stuff. Interestingly, one of the products you're working on with, like, let's say, with Pastor Mike, it's education, right?
Yes.
Now, I was praying like, like, what now? Like, let's because I wanted to do something simpler, and then I was like the main person driving the thing,
Okay.
and so I didn't want to do something that would take it was going to take a lot for me working on that. Not that it can be, it's something that can be solved, something that can be done.
That's right.
I've had a meeting with Mikasa CEO, Kelvin Yame.
Okay.
And he was telling me like, this thing you're working on, it's good, and this, that, that's something like, and he was, and he is someone in the space. So when you're talking to someone like, he's the CEO, they just, around that time, they just raised their funding. So,
okay.
And then, so he's talking to me, so you got to take that advice. So that is it. You have to qualify every opportunity. You don't just jump and start running with it.
Right.
Ask questions.
Okay.
Right? Ask why, so that someone will advise you. And also, oftentimes, get people to punch holes in there, because when the idea comes, it looks glorious. Like,
until
I'm turning a millionaire in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So you need to let someone ask questions. So what about this? What about?
If the person
so
back, how will the person get it?
So you go back, then you solve, and then get solved. Then you are able to come up with the right, and then you'll be reiterating, right, on the way you are going about it over time, and you'll be getting it over time.
All right.
So
all right.
That's the opportunities.
All right. Okay, so I think we should be good now, right? I believe we should be good. For the questions there, I have put them in the fridge. I think our time is already fast spent, so I believe that we should be good. So I think right from the word go, I could just summarize or put everything that has been said here together for us as these were the main things that I picked up. I think from Pastor Kelvin's side on the part of value, having to really know what you are doing and to know it so well so that that competence is something that sells you out there. And I think this is really a great thing for those in the professional industries. And she also said the same thing concerning her competence, such that she had to be given somebody's thing to be doing, and then the person was reassigned, and even they saw that it was worth it because she proved it, And I think that is a bigger challenge for all of us together when it comes to wherever we find ourselves, So that is I took. And then on the other side of things is also the part of how to be, handling when it comes to the opportunity. Right. The later part of it, which was on the opportunity side of things, and I think it's a thing that we need to go look into. All right, we need to go look into that right from the word go when it comes to where can I start this whole thing. It may be around you first, maybe where you are working, or where you stay, or maybe on your contact list. You always have to start from any of these options and then see what can be done and things like that. And I think that could be more or less like a summary of all of these things for us. And finally, I don't know how the startup space is still doing. I don't know if it is still as it was then when it was in the booming stage. I think it's still happening now, and I think now it's even having a lot of new people coming on board and then stuff like that. So I believe that is also a space for you to also venture in, because mostly it's not just even because of the funding, but it gives you some opportunity for networking as well, because you get to go there and then you get to meet some people that eventually you may end up selling your value to them, and then eventually in the future you can find some profit from that. So I think that is also one of the options that has been helpful. So you know what, those of us who are students, seriously, you should get on board when it comes to these things. I remember when I was in school, I did an entrepreneurship pitching for my people. I made them come and pitch an idea, and then we gave them some money, some small money, and it was just to let them learn how to do these things and then get out there. And I believe that these have been well said, which we should look into. So I don't know, these are the GCTU squad, and I think you guys should look into that, because when it comes to the tech space now, I think it's working much with some of these startups. There are a lot of people who are ready to pour funding into some wonderful product and then conceptualize it and stuff like that. So if you don't put it out there and you are waiting for whenever, I think we may find ourselves wanted and then forever, and then it may not be happening. So I believe this could be a wrap-up of everything said. I don't know if I left anything out. So please, your last statement, and then we get out of here. Very concise last statement, or else they will turn off the camera, boom, like that.
Thank you, sir. So my very last statement would be that in as much as we are investing and all, working for the money and all of that, Don't let your work take you away from church. And don't let your church make you lazy at work. Find the balance and make it work. Don't use church as an excuse to be lazy at work. I went for an all night, I'm sleepy, and you are sleeping on the job. It's not done. And don't also say that because I have work, I will not come for the all night. So don't let your work take you away from church. And don't let your church make you lazy at work. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were going to put your hands together for.
Yes. Please, let's go ahead and then.
So,
please, last, not first.
Yeah. I'm trying to give value in a very short. So
okay.
I'm trying to. There are so many things that like we can stay here all night to talk about things, yeah. But then when you boil everything down, like first, really, I know some people say that, oh, they say that all the time, but there's something they're not telling us. Listen, it really it is. It's the Holy Ghost. Like when you boil everything down, it's the Holy Ghost. Like first, the Holy Ghost. That's your fellowship with Him, and then. So that because the more you fellowship with Him, the more you are able to get acquainted with His promptings and His witnesses to you.
Okay.
So that's like the very first thing. And one great man of God has something he says when it comes to leadership. He calls it a headship.
All right.
Right. Which is that you always ought to be thinking ahead. And it's something with ACCA. Think ahead. Yeah. And when you think ahead, there are things I've done at Blue Space. Like I do take initiative. Right. Like things like I'm doing more. Like I do things. I do things. I'm around when I'm around. Yeah. Like there's real value. And some of these things came or were learned from ministry. Because just imagine. We've gone for a mock summit.
Yeah.
In his
yes.
And then we were not going to do refreshment.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, our lovely and highly esteemed of God decided to, push now. You have to get refreshment for people instantly.
And it was not part of the plan initially.
It was part of the plan. So like you have to think on your feet, like pressure, right? And this handling pressure moments have like really helped, like mold and like let's say and stuff. Like my boss, I tell people my boss is someone, apart from him and one other gentleman in one government institution. You can't pressure those people. The regional minister and the CEO for this, are here. You are sending a message. Is it? When you call, like, just send a message.
Just send a message.
You see it, you take it.
Okay.
Or I'll attend to it. You are feeling, no.
Say no.
Right? Because some things are there, it's not like emergency like that. So when you're always thinking ahead, you're able to filter the noise. Because oftentimes the things that look urgent are not important.
Right.
They are not important for the long term.
Yes.
And because you have to be thinking ahead, you have to be able to, as in, put yourself in a so you can see what to spend your time or what to allocate your time to. Right? Because at the end of the day, the main currency you have is time. And that's the main currency you have. Forget the money and stuff like that's the main currency you have. That's the main thing you can trade with.
Okay.
So that's like secondly. And thirdly, diligence.
All right.
Diligence. Pastor talks about the fact that diligence to him means painstaking. Thank you. So if you're not applying, like there is nothing pain involved, like you have not gotten to where you have exited, like you've worked to where you're now feeling the pain, like you are not really diligent. That's just a simple qualification for it. Someone said, I don't know diligent. When I was young, and they were telling me, work hard. Everything you ask, when you work hard, you get there. When you work hard, what is work hard? Because like everything, work hard is the key. So when Pastor explained it, was like painstaking effort. That is diligence. Painstaking effort. So it is effort that there is pain involved, right? Schedule I run is like, it's crazy. And sometimes when you travel, literally you're close from work, and then it's like I literally feel like pain, like in my hand, like my thigh, like my in. I just get to my hotel room and then poof, I sleep till like the following day. Sometimes like, and then especially at the beginning when I travel to any city. So that's something that is very very key. If you don't do, and then the interesting thing is that the more you work, the more things open up. So let's say all you have been given is an inch. You do the inch very, very well. Then you say, oh, you lift up your door. Oh, okay. Then you say, okay, then there are more openings now. Today I was on the call you called. I said, listen, I was still online. I said, don't the CEO. I can't add that work to my current work. It's too I won't. I can't. I'll do this, and then now I can try because now I've proven, like, let's say, and like to that. So you because now more things are being added. Like, it's not like there are no opportunities, there are, but then you have to prove yourself in the current place well, and you have to, and that is something that a lot of people, like, let's say, it slips them by, which is you find an opportunity whilst you are working. I know it sounds a little like immediately I see something I jump at it. No, that's not it. So sometimes you are working at something will show up. Pray about it, wait, think on it, or try to qualify, ask questions and stuff. Then sometimes it might look like to work. When you spend some days, you find hey, is this thing I really wanted to work on? No, I shouldn't have tried. So it pays to listen to the Holy Spirit so that the direction, the guidance are given. So because when you stay focused in one side, you are able to develop competence. And in the marketplace, execution is worshipped. It's not just about I can do this. No. When I finish, no one can do like the way I did it. Right? And that's execution. And that's no one, like, you can't take that away, like, let's say, from your stuff. From here, I'm going to the office. Like, straight up. From going straight to the office. You can't beat that, like, really. You're coming at 9. By the time you're coming, I'm ahead of you. Like, I've finished my quiet time, I've prayed, right? And I'm in the work, I'm in the zone. By the time you're coming in the traffic, hey, I like to focus, light, all that stress. By the time you come, I'm already ahead of you. By 1 o'clock, you are done with the day. You are now trying to find what we are finished. All right, we are done. And the early bird gets the worm, right? By the time you come, we are done. You are now coming to start. We finished. We finished the match. You are now coming to play the game, right? So that's like something which is like diligence. Like, yeah, you're going to rest, and then you have to know that in life there are phases. At this phase of your life, it's investment, right? Very soon there are things my role will be switching up. Like, like you'll be switching up. First you're single, then you'll be married and stuff. There are things you can't do when you get married. Like, I tell my wife, I'll go to the office. You are joking. No. Like, now we have to have a whole conference meeting and a board meeting about it, But right now, I don't need a board meeting. I just go straight for it. Right? But very soon, I have to now explain, possibly develop a pitch deck for it, right? So, that's
All right, so finally, thank you so much for your time. And then as we began, so we want to say a very, very big thank you to our man of God for this platform. He had to approve the meeting and then approve all the panelists and then also give word for them to be present and everything. And we appreciate you so much. If I didn't say, please don't surprise me today, I'm sure you could have put it in surprise, but he kept on saying, make sure you're updating me at every single point of the meeting. So thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity. I believe that we have his blessing, and so everything that was shared here will definitely not be just a rat race for us. So thank you once again, panelists, for not turning down our invitation and also coming in to be a blessing to us, taking your time to pour out everything. I believe that you shared even things that you may not have shared anywhere. So we appreciate that so much. So thank you so much. You can kindly get to resume your seat. Thank you. All right. So please, I think we should be done now. All right. So I think I would have to own the singular honor of having to close the session. All right. And you still have some questions. You have some personal questions, or you want to possibly introduce yourself to him, like, oh, please, boss, this is my name and I do this, I'm into this, I'm to this. You want to just have some moment of networking, you can do that. And then say, oh, please, Famisha baby, and all of those stuff too. You can also try, although I don't think you would want to do that at this point. But you can still try and then just make a mark and then see how it turns out, all right? So thank you all so much for showing up. Yeah. Please, I think today Wednesday is middle service, so it means we have to take our offering. I didn't forget that. I almost did. So can you project that? I think we may have to just work with the Momo. If it's physical cash, I'm sure Akusa will handle that. Where is she? All right. Yeah, so I think we can just do the mobile money option for all of that. Where is Lady Sam? I think she has my phone, or Pearl has it. So please, you can transfer my own to it for me. So can we project the details for the a friend? And I think some of you had your partnership to redeem. Sorry. You can also go ahead and do that. And as we are doing that, let me use the opportunity to remind you that, so tomorrow we are busy at night. Chris, find out if Kevia is transferring her something or she's playing a game. So tomorrow we kickstart our rallies, all right? So tomorrow evening we would be doing our placard evangelism tomorrow. And then Friday as well, we'll get to have our floats. So please, every plan is in place. So tomorrow we are going to be busy here, not in the hotel, but I mean on the street of Abofu. So kindly be informed. Your soul leaders will get to you on the details once again. But the time is supposed to be 5:30 p.m. Like we came early today. So I think all the church workers, you came early. Not all, but I think some of you did. Some were late. We'll talk about that after here. But please, tomorrow, 5:30 p.m., we have to kickstart our traffic, because that's when the traffic builds up. So the placards are ready. Everything is ready, like was promised. And we are going to, I told you we are working with 30 people. So 30 people need to be present for the exercise, because we made 30 placards. So you have to make sure that we have all of them having a hand to hold. So please, tomorrow, we are having our rally. And then we are going to be doing it here. So please, all of us, talking about church members and then church workers and everybody. So please pass the information. Make sure you inform everybody who is not here that tomorrow we are having our church rally. Okay? What's the announcement again? Sunday we meet for service. Yes? Yes, Sunday. Did you hear that? Don't let your work and then let the church be there be telling me this. So Sunday we meet for service. It's our first Sunday in May. So please don't miss it. 8 a.m. prompt. All right. We are going to be having a busy week, so definitely you would be aware that we are going to meet on Sunday. So I think that one I don't need to remind you again today, because tomorrow you have the reminder. Friday you have the reminder again. So just watch out for that. All right. Okay. So I think that's basically all the announcement for today. If we are done giving our offerings, we can be on our feet as we get to close. Pastor Kevin will pray for us. Please, let's all come inside. Let's all come inside. Oh, it's exactly 10 p.m. Interesting. So you're supposed to come at 5:30. Some of you came at 8 p.m. and other things, But all the same, thank you for your patience and staying through today. I think some people had taken the lead already. I said, everyone come inside. Those with physical cash, please, where's the so that you can help them with that. Just put it here so that they can just know it's here. Where is it? Where is the bowl or something? Where is it? I've thrown it away. You have even forgotten where your own offering box or something is. Anyways, all right, so you can put it to the side, and those of us with the physical cash, we can do that. Please do well to get to give, because we get to pay for the place after here, so you should know that it's important that we don't skip this part of it. So please, those online as well, let's make sure we are sending in our offering. Those here, let's do same. Okay, so with our eyes closed, I'll call on Pastor Calvin to come and pray with us as we end the session. Thank you.
Let's speak in the language of the Spirit. Ko shata kata levrebe hiya stikinasa. Sobre hasize frekalos tele krakado dovala bradi kova vale kala sataba ovre kane nelusa dala vrabaro sata kaba vequada laste kova vale koraste balusha talavra ateo ove bala kadias tuva vrakadele brahadiasta ovre kadele mano nova vale kela lusa fale koa para ovre kana namando vera kada daba kada. Oh Lord, even as you grant vision, that even as there was no water in a desert place, Hagar was able to see that pond. I pray that by your spirit, everyone here tonight, may that spirit and that grace begin to work in their lives, that their eyes will be open to behold the many opportunities, the many needs that are bound around them. And Lord, I pray that that same grace will carry them, will guide them to the right people, will guide them to the right ideas, will guide them to the right resources. And Lord, may the systems begin to come together on their behalf. May the systems begin to come together on their behalf. And Lord, even as light dwelt on the tabernacle of Job, so that the rock gave oil for his sake, I pray that, Lord, in the name of Jesus, by the light of your word, by the light, the wisdom that the Holy Spirit witnesses to each and every one here tonight, may that grace be prevalent in their lives. And Lord, in the name of Jesus, I bless the work of their hands, that as they step out there, may their arms be strengthened among the Gentiles. And Lord, may the grounds begin to yield for their sake. May the grounds begin to produce for their sake. There is no barrenness. There is no barrenness. There is no death around them, by the working of the Spirit of God in their lives. In the name of Jesus. Amen.
Right, so officially you've launched out, and then I'm asking you to go and make sure you add value to that thing that you're already doing, to the service you are providing, to the work you're doing. Make sure you go and add value. Don't forget what he defined as execution. Says doing it such that nobody can do it the way you did it. I think it's a very profound thing for me. So please go and then take whatever you are doing to the next level, launch it into space, where now you cannot use your legs, but you need to be propelled by the internal energy that has been built up. So please, we expect by the next time that we meet for this same conference again, you will definitely have something to write home about. So let's go and come back next time we are having this conference with something significant and tangible to talk about. And I pray that you have a safe journey back home. Those of you who will not get to go home too, you can have a safe journey wherever you are going. Like how Pastor Kevin is going to the office. God bless you all so much. And thank you. We appreciate you. We love you so much. God bless you for coming. Have a great evening. And then officially, our Christian professionals and entrepreneurship, panel discussion is wrapped up. God bless you and have a good night. Bye. So if you want to interact with, there were some news I didn't want to mention because we're online. But if you want to have
some of us never thought that we'd still see this day. When you had a small scratch in your throat, you thought that was it. But thanks be to God. Thanks be to God, who has kept us alive till this day. If you believe that He's a great and mighty God, come on, shout to the glory of His name. Hey! All right, can we do this together?